Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment in Darkness in Dublin. Time ticks ever onwards, its path as sure as the river. However, the question becomes, what happens when man, in his hubris, attempts to dam the river? Will the time overflow, or will it break the barrier down? Or will it simply have to accept the fact that the river can no longer flow? These are the questions that many have been pondering. Many of the great and the powerful have had it on their minds. Our assemblage will our assemblage have been preparing. They know that tonight, ultimately, New Year's Eve, as beneath them the city celebrates, if they are not the bulwark against the selfish, the soulless, and the mad, this city may well fall to the ravages that are the rivers of time. We find that a text has been sent to each one of them, indicating that they should meet on a building rooftop overlooking the Rathholm Institute at 1 hour to midnight, 11 o'clock this evening. Upon arriving at the rooftop, they will see a rather peculiar sight. They will see the director of the Technocratic Union, flanked by two individuals wearing technocratic hard suits, in vigorous conversation with individuals dressed in priestly robes and individuals dressed in priestly robes and garb, and others wearing arcane sigils and sigillici. Perhaps this was how it used to be, before everything changed. Perhaps this is how the world could have been, were it not for the hubris of man and magic. We will have our individuals join them on the rooftop in the order that I have them on my screen. And we will begin. Actually, I will have you enter in terms of groups. My apologies. I will have all the people of individual orders enter together, as that makes the most sense to me. First to join us shall be the Hermetics.
And Richard will make his entrance with the kind of aloof dignity that he has come to show at any formal or any occasion that isn't decidedly casual, at least.
There are two more Hermetics to enter.
Following behind Richard, there is a young man who rides along a skateboard, looking around. He is dressed in a leather jacket, and he's wearing a Dead Kennedy shirt. His hair has spiked up. He's not in his normal, aloof attire. He has thrown himself back. His jacket has small spikes. He's got leather gloves with the fingers cut off. He is definitely out of the punk era. His soft-sided high tops help him grip the pavement as he skates along.
Okay. And Sam, you are next.
Rory also falls behind Liam. He's also on a skateboard. He's got his charming smile on his face. He looks more or less the same as ever. He's wearing a hoodie. The band's logo is not clear anymore. Actually, I'm going to assume it's an Irish sports team. And I don't have a good description right now, so he follows behind Liam and smiles, riding a skateboard.
All right. Next, we will have the Akashics. So we will have Ikiro and Kamo.
Kimio will enter, probably following Ikiro. He's dressed in all black, and he has this jade ring on his pinky finger because his hands are really big. You know what that means?
Iki will just kind of walk up to the rest of everybody. She's wearing, oddly enough, just it looks like she might have been planning to go out to, like, you know, one of those casual business party kind of suits. She's got slacks on, some black flats, a white dress shirt. It's kind of not tucked in. Of course, she has her bag because she needs Shin tonight. She might. I don't know, little asshole. Can they see the scythe as well? Okay.
Actually, I'll describe this if I may. Kim has over her shoulder what would be considered to be an almost comical, almost anime-esque style weapon. It is a large scythe that looks as if it's covered in a skull. It's covered in a skull motif, and the blade itself is long and razor sharp, etched with dozens of tiny sigils and sigillions on it in a language that no one here can understand. It appears to resonate and throb with power of a dark and necromantic ilk, for those of you who can determine its power. But it rests across her shoulders as if it weighs nothing.
She's wearing more jewelry than she would normally. Belts and everything, because crime. And of course, she does have her war fan just kind of casually sticking out of her pocket, because you never leave home without your war fan and the tiny dagger made of soul steel, but that's also, another thing. But yeah, she'll just kind of walk up to everybody.
Okay. Next, we shall have the Euthanatoi enter. So that will be Samira and Marcus.
Alrighty. Sam turns up. She does not look nearly as extravagant as the rest of the group does. She has a gray hoodie. Worn over a black t-shirt. And it doesn't really... She's not nearly as extravagant. There's a knife on her person, but even that's pretty average.
Okay. And Jackie?
Jackie comes in, he's got his same outfit he always has on, except this flannel is black, no stripes. Serious flannel.
Serious flannel for a serious guy. Okay, and last but not least, because there's only one of him, Walter, you may enter.
Rick actually dressed down from his usual. He's only wearing a black button-up shirt and tactical pants. He seems to be fiddling with something as he steps forward. His hand to his ear. Is sound off?
Yes, sir?
Are we ready?
As ready as we can be, sir.
All right. I'll tell you when.
You see the individuals have gathered around a table, and they appear to be deep in discussion. You see the Archbishop is kind of has his he's leaning over the table, so he's got two of his hands on either side of it, and he's looking down at the contents of the table. Siren is standing off to the side. The technocratic director is sitting in a chair, and she appears to have a cup of coffee or tea in her hand. And as I say, she's flanked by two individuals, one of whom is wearing a bright red. It almost looks like it comes straight out of the annals of Gundam Wing style suit. It's much smaller, however, so it's only about the size of an ordinary person. But there is a definite noise as it turns to look at you as you arrive. The Archbishop will look up from where he is studying the papers, and he will say, "Ah, welcome, my children. A pleasure to see you all again." Now then.
You too.
He will smile. So, he will point down and he will say, "Before you, you see the Rathholm building. As some of you might know, we believe that the aforementioned and offensive clock is currently within there. However, ultimately, we are not able to ascertain its direct location due to the fact that place is incredibly heavily warded, shielded, and protected. It must have taken many years to lay this level of protection." At which point the technocratic director will kind of scoff from her chair, and she will say, "Oh, of course. Well, this is what happens when traditions are allowed to do anything. You let cancer rot in your breast until it starts to poison you." The Archbishop will turn around and he will say, "I honor the terms of the truce struck by the Order of Hermes. However, if you speak to me in that manner again, I assure you, Director, I will send you to meet your maker, or whatever hell it is that God himself has planned for you." You'll see her kind of go, she'll give a kind of a snort of derision, but will settle back in her chair. And he will say, "Perhaps it is best that we discuss what it is our plans are, yeah? Very well. In that case, allow me to... He'll roll out he'll kind of gesture you all to gather around the table. You know, kind of step closer to see what we're doing.
Liam will step up and take a look.
So will Rick.
It is
Do
our...
as many doors as possible.
The Archbishop kind of lays his hand on the table and, shows the map in its entirety. Once again, Rick, this is roughly the same map you had access to. And he will say, "The plan is simple. We will test their outer defenses. Whilst this is going on, we believe that we have located a gap in their defense grid." He will point towards the back of the building, and he will say, "Here. As of yet, we are entirely unaware as if this gap was left intentionally or if it is an oversight. Both are inherently possibilities. However, whilst it is we test their defenses from without and attempt to draw out whatever they have within, it will be up to you to enter the building, ascertain the clock's position, and shut it down. Am I understood?"
He will raise her hand.
"Yes, Madam Ikiro."
Where do the army of skin-riding wraiths come in?
There is a general, "Whoa."
I think Smile's like, "Whoa."
He's just smiling widely.
Context?
Oh. You mean you haven't noticed? Oh. Okay. To put it plainly, I took a little trip to the Shadowlands today, And I'm not sure if any of the rest of you noticed, but that whole thing where the wall was dangerously thin, you know, that thing that keeps the wraiths where they're supposed to be. Anyway, I did some investigating, and it turns out Gravedigger spoke with all of the wraiths and bound them into corpses, and apparently they are supposed to come and help with this little endeavor tonight.
There's just, from Liam, just a solid head just slowly rotating to the side. In this.
You will actually see the Archbishop, this man of supreme dignity, this man who has faced demons on the other side, this man who is the bane of evil and the sword righteous in God's hands. Facepalm.
He's gonna pull out her phone and take a picture real fast.
Kim, your phone will light on fire.
Aww.
He will then calmly look up and he will say, "This is what happens when I ask Gravedigger's assistance. Someone make a note. I'm never doing that again."
You could have asked me. See, because I was also planning on asking the race as well, but I wasn't going to bind them into corpses, you see. But he wouldn't share the wraiths, so I just took his scythe.
I mean, it's all there in his name, right?
Yeah.
You didn't see this coming?
I mean, I saw it coming. I don't know what Archbishop. I guess he didn't expect, the necromancer to do necromancy things. But hey, I mean, very surprising.
There's once again a facepalm. Very well.
Also, with all the other reactions, you'll notice attention to the map. Ignoring that little conversation.
It is
I'm
also
silly at it.
It is also my plan, in order so that this battlefield does not get strewn with corpses from all of us around us. This will require great personal, he contemplates the next word, trauma to myself. However, I intend to bring this entire area, well, in a manner of speaking, into a temporary horizon realm. Do we have any questions?
Liam's just going to look over and just raise an eyebrow, kind of higher than it should be. And a very unspoken, "You going what?"
That's what Kimura does as well. Theoretically speaking, if one of us didn't know exactly what that meant,
It means that I have created a box. It means that I will create a bubble of temporary space within the horizon reaches of the Umbra, at which point I will deposit this entire area within it, and keep it open by a sheer force of will, until such time as this issue is dealt with, at which point I will return this area to its given location. All the time it will be hidden by a replica of itself here that people will perceive, but will not feel inclined to acknowledge or inclined to interact with.
Liam's just going to nod his head real quick and go, "So what you're saying is you're going to put us in an X polygon. I'm cool with that."
Yes, essentially you are correct.
This is about to get real fun.
Now then, do we have any more questions before we begin?
Iki raises her hand again.
Very well, Madam Ikiro, what is it?
She'll then look over to the I'm pretty sure it was Liam, but I can't remember because I wasn't looking at the screen. To the one who just kind of said, "Well, this is about to be interesting," when they were talking about going into a horizon realm, and she'll just kind of say, "Did you not think it was going to be interesting when I brought up the whole army of wraiths and corpses? the Horizon Realm was what made it interesting?
Pretty much. The army of wraiths, inhabiting corpses, and skeletal soldiers marching on this building. I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. And then there was like, oh, by the way, we're gonna be in a pocket Horizon Realm where nothing else happens. Okay. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be. It's about to be real entertaining. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Guess those are your priorities on the level and scales and stuff. But okay. Anyway, I can go on.
The Archbishop will move away from you all, and he will kneel on the ground, and you'll hear him start to say prayers in Latin and Enochian as he moves and he spreads his arms wide. You don't really feel movement, but for those of you with Prime Sight activated, there is a... Actually, who has Prime Sight here?
I do.
Currently active. Hi.
I've got Prime 1, so yeah.
Okay, please make me a stamina roll, not to be blinded.
What a bitch. You could have warned some people first.
Alright. Where is it?
Standard?
Standard.
I hope if I had this
What
up.
the fuck? I'm gonna use lucky. I have one more left.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, nope. I go blind. I go blind and then some.
You don't, actually. You can still see through one of your eyes.
That's terrifying.
Yep. The other one's completely useless. By the way, I should point out that everything in your other eye has a green tinge.
Green?
Green.
Okay.
But there is a blinding flash of prime energy. Other than that, the world does not seem to change, except for the sky, which becomes a swirling nimbus of purple and blue light. It's incredibly beautiful, but you get the distinct feeling you're not where you were. At which point, from beneath you, you hear literally what sounds like a bugle, and it sounds like it plays. There is a huge rent in space that forms there's a huge rent in space that forms at the foot of this building, and you start to see what can only be described as the Walking Dead start to shamble from the building. Except they're not quite shambling. Have people here seen Game of Thrones to date?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh.
You know how in Game of Thrones they're zombies, but they can run?
No, not running zombies.
Oh no.
Fucking
But
Quickfoot.
there, thousands
Anyway.
upon thousands of animated corpses surge from this rent and start running towards the building full pelt.
Nightmares. Nightmares. So many nightmares.
At which point, for those of you who didn't see him, you see Gravedigger sitting next to the Archbishop, who appears to be entirely focused in the sense that Gravedigger's actually flicking his ear. And he says, well, he did say to build him an army. I built him an army worthy of Mordor. That's how that works, isn't it? Oh, by the way, if you want to draw a mustache or a penis on his face, he can't do anything about it. Literally just sitting there flicking the Archbishop's ear.
Just tempting.
He'll stand up and he'll say, right, yeah, kitty boys, well, I've got the front door. You guys go around the back. Wow, it's normally me who goes for the back door. That's somewhat poetic, but say lovely. I will point out, from where you're standing, the moment the dead start surging towards the building, you see dozens of what look like transmutation circles blaze into life all around it, and the dead start shrieking as they start being rended apart by blazing bolts of fire.
Can I grab me some of those wraiths?
No.
Seems about right.
And he's not sharing.
Can't blame a girl for trying, man.
Grave Digger, from where he's sitting, he'll actually strike a match off the Archbishop's face, like, and he'll light a cigarette with it, and he'll say, "Forgive me, but this is the only time I'm going to get to do this." Rightio. So, as I've said, or as you can all plainly see, this building is surrounded by fuck you death. So, questions, comments, or are we good to go?
Kiki raises her hand.
No. No, you can't have any of them. Fuck off.
Didn't share, you bastard.
I am not about teleporting you back into the poo. Do you wish to return to the poo?
And I wish your scythe there.
When can I get my knife back?
Marcus, you're like uber crackly, dude. Like, as in really hard to hear you crackly. Very good. Rightio then. In that case, boys and girls, hoodie winks and tiddlywinks. He'll say, right, I'm going to teleport you to the entrance point, at which point you're on your own. Do you understand? The Archbishop here and our technocratic friends. At this point, you'll start to notice the fact that there are more of those technocratic hard suits that are flying through the air and raining fire down on the building. So yes, mecha and zombies. We have achieved mecha and zombies. Marcus, when did Gravedigger take your knife?
First time I met him.
Oh yeah, he did. He will flick it out of his belt and he will hand it to you. He won't throw it, but he'll kind of flick it into the air, catch it by the blade. He won't draw his own blood, but he'll hand you the knife.
I take it.
Okay. He will then proceed to slice using his incredibly long fingernails, and another hole will appear in the fabric of existence, and he'll say, "Come on, kids, step through one at a time. No pushing, no biting, and that means you, Mr. Weiss. I think you're a biter."
By the way, for those who aren't aware, Finley's got a beard that is, yeah, he's achieved Mitchell beard.
You take that back. No one can achieve Mitchell beard.
I don't even know what that is, but I'll Google.
Unfortunately,
That's kinda
I think it
difficult.
happened.
Mm-mm.
Okay, 4 months of beard growth, unkempt. Leave it at that. Shaggy beard.
So ZZ Top.
Yeah, sure,
Well-
that'll work.
All I found when I Googled was David Mitchell.
I mean, I personally would worship Mitchell as my Lord and Messiah. But that's just me. As I said, he's casually standing there waiting for you guys, kind of like, well, there's a portal to Neverwhere open if you want to go actually do your job. Maybe. Cool.
He's just gonna walk through then.
Kimura will follow
will,
after Ichiro.
And Richard will follow
Hand.
after Kemuel.
Rick will
I
put
will
his hand to his
He-
ear, strike, and move through the portal.
Just before they moved through the portal, Richard will look at Kemuel and say, "I'm kind of glad right now that we did the sparring we did."
Always helps, right? Keep your head on the swivel.
Mm-hmm.
Liam will take a nice long hit from his red packaged cigarettes and skate through the portal.
You find yourself with Gravedigger standing out in what appears to be the back loading dock of this building. However, unlike the others who are currently charging and you can hear the sounds of fighting and crying in the case of the Wraith zombie, you do not see anything out of the ordinary or unusual here. You do not feel anything particularly odd in the sense that this area does not appear to be warded. It almost appears as if there's a blank spot here, and it almost appears as if there's. Surely they would have known. Surely they must have known that this would be an issue. But still, here it remains. And Gravedigger will kind of quirk his head to the side as he says, "Rightio, kids. Well, in that case, I'm going to leave you here then. I believe that His High Holiness, I'm pontificating and better than you, has probably told you all the shit you need to know, unless there's any shit you need me to tell you, so I'm going to get the shit out of here with my shit. All good?"
Sounds good.
He'll pat Samira on the head and say, "Remember, I was the first thing that you saw when you took the second breath. I'd really rather not have to drag you back for your third."
Okay.
That would
Hey,
require you to actually bring people back from the dead.
Shut up, daughter dearest. I swear to God, I wouldn't bring you back. But then again, say love me. Let's move on.
That's why I have my brother.
Oh yes, little Mister, I'm going to sit on my throne and be the Dark Lord of Uber Fuck You Pants. Yeah, that's something.
Isn't that what you do all the time?
I don't have a throne. Wait, I need to get a throne. Memo to self. Right, you're on your own, kids. And with that, he'll hop up into the air and poof. You are standing, as I say, outside the back loading dock of this building. If it helps, Tim, Gravedigger used Iki's mom as his throne for a while.
Oh, that's fine. Iki's mom also calls calls her throne Gravedigger's face. So, you know. All good.
That's 10 points to Hufflepuff. Alright, moving on. As I say, you were standing outside the back loading dock of this building. You can hear the clashing going out front, but other than that, there is now silence.
Anything weird with Prime Sight?
There is no enchantment on any of the. There are 3 large doors through which you must assume lorries or large articulated trucks come to make deliveries, etc. There is no warding protecting any of the 3.
Can I use Sense Life and Correspondence too to see if there are distant organisms nearby?
Okay, by all means, yeah.
Question.
Answer.
Are we in a sanctum right now?
Nope.
Okay, this isn't considered a sanctum. Awesome.
We are in a
However, when you get through the door, that might be a different question.
Nope.
Okay.
I see nothing.
Okay.
I know nothing. I'm Jon Snow.
Excellent. The door, as I said, it appears to have a very simple security padlock on it.
Okay. If no one else has any ideas, Sam's idea. It's like a keypad, right? You said?
No, it's just a padlock, as in something you'd open with a key.
Oh, okay. Does anyone have a key? No one has a key. So let's see if Sam has larceny. Spoiler alert: I don't think she does. Lol, called it. She doesn't.
Could just break the padlock.
If that's what you want to do.
You know, they might have left it unlocked. I mean, these things happen. Won't know till we try.
I can pick locks.
Oh, see, somebody use some entropy and make it to where that lock is just, fortune favors on the bold. It's unlocked.
That's what
I was actually that's the exact okay. Out of character, that was exactly my plan. But I actually, Rory can also pick locks.
Yeah.
What?
We're just getting ruffling.
Me or Marcus?
Marcus. And there he goes.
I
Boom
was
goes
like,
the dynamite.
dropped me earlier.
Right? By any chance, is the padlock locked?
Yes,
Okay.
it has a 3-digit numerical cipher on the side of it and a key, and somewhere to put a key. It's one of those kind of twisted. If you twist the padlock around, so the correct 3 digits show, it unlocks one of the mechanisms, and then you turn the key for the other.
Evan, I'm just going to ask you something about the padlock.
Okay. Finley Wise
Evan.
now with beard. Yes, Mike.
Evan, Kimio is going to activate his arcane if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. Sorry, that was Odie, not Mike.
I'm gonna do the same.
Yep. Kicking my arcane up.
All right, I'm just going to try to pick the lock.
And to answer your question, Sam, yeah.
Okay.
By all means, try and pick the lock.
So people are dropping
Standard
arcane to try and make themselves less noticeable.
Yep.
Sure, I'll do it too.
I'm sorry to be stupid. Can someone please explain to me what that is?
It's a
Well, what is-
background.
Oh, arcane. It's basically the background for after this is said and done, people won't remember me.
Oh, okay.
I got one success on my entry roll.
To do what?
I mean,
It might have been unlocked.
5 successes, Evan.
Because of that, hey, yes, it in fact is unlocked. Because guess what? Someone just unlocked it. The lock will slide open in Rory's hand as he gets the correct numerical sequence, which is 732, and he will manage to jerry-rig the lock open using a hairpin. The door will slide open into the interior. The interior of the shipping room is a long, large corridor-like space where you would assume the shipping trucks pull up in order to make their deliveries and whatever else have you. There is currently no one occupying the space. There is a desk seated in the situation in the corner where you would assume a clerk or some other functionary logs and checks whatever shipments are brought in, etc.
By the way, am I good for am I good for getting the item off of SciShow or no? Sorry.
If you're asking for a gun, they'll give you a gun, sure.
Yep. Cool.
There is a large double door that leads out just past where the desk is situated, that you would assume leads into the building proper. And there are, next to that, piled approximately 3 crates that are just kind of sitting there rather happily. Bean crates.
I'm gonna throw up matter sight to see
Okay.
pretty much X-ray vision.
Awesome.
Yup. It's 4 successes, so
Those boxes are entirely filled with straw.
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a. I'm gonna say that was an in-character decision that he forgot, but I'm gonna do a time sight.
Okay.
So, how does the world look to the eye of mine that functions?
Pretty okay. As I said, everything just has a vaguely green tinge. Whenever someone else activates an effect, though, they blaze very briefly with a nimbus of power for a few seconds.
Okay. Groovy, then I have a response for later effects.
Okay. For the record, interestingly enough, time here is flowing normally. There is no disruptions, dissipations, or any kind of stoppages in the normal rhythmic time flow. What do you guys wish to do next? As I say, you are all currently standing in the shipping office.
Is there a door?
There is a door, as I described, right next to the right next to the desk where there are a number of papers casually placed in neat little piles. There is a desk, then there is a set of double doors leading out right to the right-hand side of it.
Can I make a perception plus security check to see any cameras in the general direction in the vicinity?
Yes, you can.
And as he's doing that, Iki's gonna walk over and, I guess, read the papers. She won't touch them, but she'll kind of look at them without touching them.
Well, while Ikiro's reading the papers, Kimio's going to test the back of the chair that's to this desk. He kind of looks at Jackie with like this annoyed look, but he is going to try to absorb the aura of this person to see where they might have went. He is kind of concerned that this is a trap. This looks awful convenient, so he's hoping to get some insight on that.
Okay. Roll me. That's a matter mind effect.
I think it's just mine, just absorbing the aura or spirit
Yeah,
side.
but you're trying to absorb the aura of an item.
Of an item. Okay, never mind.
What was that, Marcus? Sorry.
2 successes on my security check.
There are cameras here. However, you will notice the fact that the actual lenses have been burned out of them.
I will point that out to the group.
I didn't hear that, dude.
I will point that out to the group.
Okay. Jackie informs you that the cameras in here have all had their lenses burned out. So, Tim, to answer your question, there are a number of shipping and receiving forms here from various different import companies that range around the world. So you've got 2 here from China, 1 from Sichuan, 1 from Gentai, and then you've got 1 that is from South America, somewhere in Chile, and then 1 from the continental United States.
What were they shipping?
They were described as curios and curiosities.
With my X-ray vision on, can I see anything in the desk?
More paperwork, a stapler, some pens.
Gonna look at the door and see if there's anything past the door.
There is a corridor past the door.
Beautiful. Okay.
Evan,
Yes.
out of curiosity, Rory glances at the signature. The signature is on the receipts.
Mhm.
What name does it say, or does it look like signatures that I am looking for?
It says the individual receipts are signed via the shipping companies themselves, so each one of those will bear a different name. And in receipt of the documents, they will all be signed by a man named Basil Rathholm.
Is the signature similar to either of Messieurs Beck or Metz?
I beg your pardon? Oh, you've never seen their signatures?
Oh. Right, I disappeared for a few days out of character. I forgot about that. Okay, never mind then.
So, what is the next move, boys and girls?
Jackie's gonna go walk up to the door and try and open it. Is it locked?
No, it's quite open. As a matter of fact, Jackie, you will notice as you push the door open, the lock itself once again has been melted.
I'm not sure if it correlates any, but I believe there's one very fiery hot magister. She might have come through here.
Yes.
Reckon it looks like her handiwork.
Oh, Liam and other colleague whose name I did not catch earlier.
Richard?
Richard is the other hermetic?
Yeah. My guy.
Richard.
Yeah.
Richard then, pleasure. We're look for signs of House Fig.
I will point out that some people in this hangout know things that you don't.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Did we also, I guess, on that point, did we confirm? Did anyone conclusively figure out who we're going after here? Like, who is this person doing this?
Supposedly dead hermetic magister, or not magister.
Metz.
Well, maybe it's magister.
Magister Beck or Magister Metz?
Metz.
Ah. Yeah. So,
All I'm gonna go first. And start walking.
just heads up. Magister Metz's mentor was a master of several spheres and also taught mankind how to split the atom. Yeah.
Well, if and that comes up, we'll know.
Yes.
All right. So, Jackie, you opened the door, did you say?
Yeah, Jackie opens the door. He just kind of starts walking, and if something bad happens, it happens.
No, as I said, you open the door, you find a perfectly kind of clinical, long hallway with another door at the end. Simple. There is once again a camera on either side of the wall. On either one on this side of the one on this side of the power door, the other on the other side of the power door. But they also once again have had their lenses burned out.
He just keeps on walking. I mean, he'll try and be. I mean, you saw my stealth roll. It sucks. He thinks he's being sneaky, so.
Okay.
he's got.
Do the others follow?
I don't know.
Rory is following, and he is also being sneaky.
Okay.
Yeah, Kimio is following up close next to Jackie.
And Richard will follow Camille. He will also try to be sneaky, and will probably fail because my roll for this is not good. But let's see how it goes.
As you get to the other end of the corridor and open the door, you find yourself looking through a large glass-fronted building, out the front of this large glass-fronted building. You will see about 50 yards ahead of you the zombie horde who even still throw themselves at the barriers, the sigils continuing to blaze. You will also see masked figures moving like shadows from above this building on opposite sides as the building itself wings outwards, raining down fire on them from automatic weapons defending the building. Many of you have seen these eerie masks before in a confrontation that was had some days ago. The building, the entrance hall itself, has a large secretarial desk and a large globe of the world that is constantly spinning on its own axis. So it represents, the single world community, etc. Currently, there is no one occupying the space, however.
With life correspondence site, are those masked figures alive?
No.
Yay.
Are they wraiths?
They're the same kind of spiritual entities that you saw when you confronted the being who entered the Griffith Club.
Oh, those. Okay, I thought it was the operative. Never mind.
For the record, as everyone steps into the building, the door behind you will slam closed.
Richard spins around and then goes, that bodes well. He mutters to himself.
The room itself becomes incredibly dark, as in what is outside completely disappears behind a sheen of black. You are plunged into inky blackness. You will find yourselves then seated in a completely different room, in a viewing gallery, in what appears to be a large building made of hewn stone. So a castle or some kind of other old-fashioned structure, maybe a church. And you are surrounded by people who are all wearing robes and suits and different denominational clothing, but the suits are cut in a different style. The suits are cut in a much more archaic style than would be modern or fashionable today. And there are many men wearing sigils that are wearing arcane sigils cut into their clothing, all of whom are looking down in what appears to be an almost amphitheater-like way, as three men sit behind a large table in high-backed chairs, with another man kneeling on the floor in the center of three concentric circles that for the Hermetics look as if they are binding circles.
Okay, Evan, I'm just going to ask out of character. Would a reasonable assumption be that this is a memory or a flashback to the Gilgul for Master Beck?
Well, thank you for ruining that for everyone. But yes, essentially think of it like a Pensieve moment from Harry Potter, in the sense that people all around you are smoky and shadowy, and you can put your hands straight through them, etc.
This is what I was telling you guys
Okay.
to the other hermetics, because the other magistrates fairly clean.
You see kneeling on the floor a man. He would be considered by modern standards attractive. He has, he has a well-maintained beard. He's seated in a chair in the center of these consecutive circles of binding. And you see the center of the three figures stand up. And he will look down at the man seated in the chair and he will say, "It is the deliberations, the sad deliberations of this council, that for the repeated and wanton abuses of your powers as it pertains to the influencing of the sleeper community at large, with unknown consequences based upon your incredible short-sightedness, despite the warnings of tribunal and despite the warnings of conclave, that you," and he takes a deep breath. You can see he's actually steadying himself in the sense that clearly what he's about to do is not what he wishes to do, but you can see he takes a breath, kind of to steady himself and to kind of refortify and revivify, perhaps might be the correct statement himself. He looks down and he says, he continues. One moment, just a second. Yes, that you, Alexander Beck, who once held the rank of magister within this august organization, have broken your tenets and have been summoned here to answer for your crimes before your peers and before your fellows. There is only one punishment the council can give to this. And at which point they all three stand up and say in one voice, "Gilgul." There is an immediate kind of fluster that goes through the crowd. You hear whispers, and you hear the people's shocked disbelief, because the Hermetics will know that Gilgul is handed down only for the most severe of crimes that will not only affect you, but will affect the world hither thereon, so they cannot allow your influence to pass from one generation hither on to the next. You see one man, a younger man, a man who probably is, you would guess, if Metz himself looks to be in his late 30s, early 40s, this man looks to be in perhaps his mid-20s. And he will stand up and he will say, "The council cannot do this. He's guilty only of wanting to give society a chance, to let them not be babied and coddled by the order." At which point the man in one of the central figures will say, Magister Beck is guilty, not Magister Metz. Acolyte Metz will sit immediately. Conclave has heard the evidence given. Tribunal has passed its sentence. You see Beck stand up, and he will say, "It is ironic, is it not, that we blame the technocrats, the fallen order of reason, for the fact that we are losing the Ascension War, when it is not them who hold us back, who keep us bridled, caged. It is men like you who sit there and judge humanity from a point of view of such superiority that you feel as though you are men and gods who walk upon ants. When it is that humanity strives for its own betterment, even with our aid, you call us sycophants for helping them. You say that we are pursuing a goal that is counterintuitive to humanity's nature. I say to you that the reason the Technocratic Union is winning, sir, is because they are not afraid to help man when man requires their aid, because they still have relevance. I struck a blow, sir, for relevance today, and if that relevance should lead to the eventuality of my own death, then so be it. However, I will say to you, and I will have it recorded in the annals of this order, that I died maintains its relevancy to the world. People will indeed look back on this and say, I gave birth to the Atomic Age. There is an immense uproar as hands and voices are raised. People will scream and shout, "Mercy!" or "He's a monster!" At which point the council will hold up their hands and they will say, "The sentence will now be carried out." You see the consecutive lines start to glow, the power start to breathe. Everything in the room takes a stillness. You see the lightning flick as words of power are spoken by three mouths in unison, crackling as if in a gauntlet of lightning. Beck is struck over and over. You hear the shrieking sound. You hear a voice contorted into 1,000 screams of pain. And then there's silence. Then there's silence as Beck's body falls limply into his chair. He's still breathing, if only just. His avatar shattered into 1,000 pieces. At which point, you see the judges look at him and say, "Alexander Beck, council's judgment has been carried out. Tribunal ends. We wish to ask if you will continue to live this human existence, having known the ambrosia that is power only to have it stripped, or if you will take the mercy and the kindness of this council and accept your death." He looks up at them with eyes streaked with bloody tears as he says, "I have already died for these idealisms I believe in. I would ask counsel on service. Let it be my apprentice who ends my life." There is a conferring for a moment, at which point the man will nod. You will see the young man, clearly Metz, walk from the stalls, and he will embrace the other man, holding him close. The two exchange a whisper, a moment between one another, held in each other's arms, before the knife is slipped through Beck's back into his heart. He dies and expires there with the words, "People will look back on this and say," before he falls to the ground, and the vision ends.
I didn't want to interrupt you in the middle, but because that was really awesome. As they were speaking, when the apprentice was going up, Rory would have gone closer to the two of them to try to hear what the whisper was.
He will, if you wish to try and hear the whisper, they will simply have said, Metz will have said, "I don't want to lose you," and Beck will have said, "You won't. One day that we'll see each other again when there are no more tomorrows." And you gentlemen are all left standing, feeling as you will, in the middle of this haunted and eerie building, with its lights now pouring down on you again as you see the battle going on out front. And you all feel the ways that you will feel. Evan needs to go and get a drink because that was an awful lot of narration. But if you'd like to talk amongst yourselves, now would probably be a good time to do it.
Richard is just standing there, looking grim, but serene in a way, as he just witnessed. He realized that he'd witnessed something terrible and rare, and he tries to maintain the dignity of this austere moment.
Rory just kind of brushes a tear away. You know, for all that they did to him, that dead man's going to live forever. God. No wonder he wants to get rid of time.
Unlike the hundreds of thousands that died because of getting man to split the atom, Richard says in a low voice.
And when we teach everyone to awaken, how many are going to die then?
He's not going to get into this debate, so he's just going to stand there and say nothing as he still dwells on what he just witnessed.
He was right.
Immortality has the strangest of costs.
Yeah.
So is no one going to actually ask what caused us to see that event? Because I didn't feel anything.
When Evan comes back, I'll ask him if it was a time effect, but I suspect it was a mind effect, a dependency thing, as he said.
Waiting on ST to return, so it's conjuncture time. So
Nothing ever really ends, though.
everything has a beginning. Everything has an end. Everything runs its course. Every sentence stops.
Hmm. I don't know.
I didn't imagine a Gilgal would look like that. I heard rumors, but I didn't think it was as terrifying as it was.
Richard shakes his head. I could have easily done without seeing this, that's for sure.
I think it was good we saw it.
Oh, see, I didn't hear that, sorry.
Rory is looking kind of depressed and just says, he said, I think it's good we saw it.
Don't get me wrong, it was educational, but doesn't change anything ultimately.
We can at least understand.
But there are clues and intimations here.
Yeah. It's clear why he's doing what he did, or what he's doing.
There are a million reasons why someone might want to stop time, or end it, or whatever this guy's trying to do in this case.
There's not a million reasons. There's usually one. It's different for everyone.
Splitting hairs.
Big difference.
Huge. Huge difference.
A million different reasons for a million different people, even if they all boil down to the same thing.
Maybe. Have you ever gone back? So,
Who's that?
Who's he asking?
Rory was asking. Just to anyone who he's just kind of half talking to himself.
Okay.
This hit him pretty hard, actually. The smile was gone from his face.
I only had my recent foray into the world of time magic. This isn't one of them.
I go back sometimes. Not often.
For the record, as you enter the room proper, now that you can enter it, there are 2 staircases that lead up from each wall that kind of loop around until they come to a central point behind which there are 3 doors. You will see this individual crouched, physically kind of crouched on top of that the centermost part of that partition, looking down on you.
Is she aiming at us?
She is, but you get the distinct impression when you see her she could have shot a long time ago.
So more of a watching us, less aiming at us.
Correct. She's looking down at you currently.
Is this the same woman as before?
This one is not wearing the obvious mask, but she's of the same physical parameters as the previous one, yes. For those of you who are prime sight up, however, she is covered in enchantments. You count at least 6.
Oh, damn.
Lovely.
Can I tell what kind?
Huh?
Can I tell what kind?
Mm-hmm. 2 are time, 2 are entropy, 1 is life.
Oh, you know what I forgot to put?
Evan cannot do an Israeli accent, so he is not going to try. He can do it. She will say, "The master said that when you saw, you might be willing to withdraw peacefully and allow our work to end. I'm here to see if you're willing to withdraw peacefully."
I'm not speaking from anybody else, but that's a no from me.
Bridget nods solemnly.
Don't think so.
We cannot allow this.
Very well, then. I hope that God grants you a swift ending to your being. So, boys and girls, we're back to that clusterfuck that's called initiative.
For this many people.
Oh, Christ.
There's a reason why I only have 1 antagonist in this position, because could you honest to God imagine if I had more than 1 and there were 9 people?
10
I'd have to kill myself.
10
Then
clones.
Yeah, no, it's oh god.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, that's a big ball of whiffles.
Who got whiffles?
I got whiffles. I rolled a 2.
You aren't
I
the
got
only
10.
one, dude.
What do I add to it again? Dex and wits?
Yeah, Dex wit.
Oh, cool. I go on 15. I'll write it inside chat.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
The worst is rolling 1 in initiative. That just leaves you shit out of luck. I've been there.
Are we in a niche?
Yep.
Nope.
14. Oh, I should put in the sorry.
I take it that no one can, in theory, beat a 23.
Don't think so.
Hashtag time magic.
Oh,
That is,
I have time magic. Sorry, I should have added. So I guess I'm 17.
So that is
How
that
does
is more
how does
than
that
double
work?
mine.
What was that, Sam?
How does the time magic? I have extra act. Like I have time enchantments on.
Basically, you actually have to create. If you create a spell to increase, they're separate. They are separate spells to A, increase your initiative, and B, give you extra actions.
I did the actions one. I didn't do the initiative one.
Cool.
So I'm 14 then. I should have thought about that actually.
All right. Hey, Jackie, you're going to catch a bullet to the head.
Oh, shit.
I think it's I think the only reason she shooted you is because you were the one who said no first.
What did she ask?
Basically, she said we showed you that so you would understand, and you might leave of your own accord to let us do what needs to be done.
Nope.
That was the general answer, yeah.
They were
There
like, as that was. Gonna explode.
Hold on, is there an opportunity to say something before initiative?
There was
In
if you were
response to that.
here. My apologies, but you weren't, and initiative's already been rolled.
All right, never mind.
Jackie will have to opt to dodge. I'm about to get shot. I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Never mind.
What is
I got it.
the damage of a sniper rifle again? Is what?
I just happen to have it open.
Oh boy,
What a
where's the
coincidence.
Unfortunately, sniper rifles aren't in here, but a standard assault rifle is 7. So
No,
No,
Remington,
that's not right.
Remington
It's
is
two.
Remington rifle is 8.
It's two die of damage.
Only
I swear to
two?
God, I will fight you, Obi.
Okay. No.
Thank you, Opie.
Here, I'll give you. I'll give you.
8 lethal.
Yes.
Unless it's a like a 50 cal, basically a long distance one, which is also used for anti-material. Remember, I showed you my cartridges for my 50 cal.
Ah, yes. So
Those
how much?
would be-
It's 8 lethal.
Yeah.
8 lethal will be a standard rifle.
Cool. In that case, my apologies for those of you who are prime sight on. There is also an enchantment on her rifle. Actually, correction. There are enchantments on the bullets in her rifle.
Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Eep.
Hi, Marcus. You're about to have a sad day. As I said, she was shooting whoever said no first, and I just remember hearing him say it first. Okay, so that takes out the 10, which still leaves 6 rollover.
Holy shit. Okay, we on that life today.
I didn't get one of those successes, buddy.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay. So it's only, Marcus, it's only 5 rollover. How do you feel?
Does that sound like an abort to dodge? That sounds like an abort to dodge.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcus, did you do your dodge roll? My apologies. You are right.
Yes.
You only
One
dodged.
success.
Oh, sweet granny Jesus.
That's 4 rollover, ain't it?
No, it was 6 rollover.
Oh.
He got 1, which brought it to 5.
Oh, okay.
Plus the sense weakness roach this thing has on it. What could go wrong?
God damn. Girls rolling hard. Prep to take on 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, my apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Aggravated.
Oh no. Oh no! Yeah.
So
Jackie
that's
can,
the,
however, soak with his stamina.
there is a vacuous sound of my butthole puckering.
And as she, by the way, important note, as she did not opt to designate a location because I did not use the increased diff, Jackie, she will be hitting you in the chest, which means, yes, you get your leather jacket save, which in the past has saved you before.
Jackie's dead.
How dead is he, Jim?
He's way past dead. He's got 6 health levels. He just kind of died.
Ah, excellent. You will see Jackie's chest entirely evacuated of Jackie's chest. I'm expecting a Samira cry of indignation or righteous vengeance.
Oh no, this is Defiant Screaming Battle Rage. The crying is happening later.
So, okay, we're gonna have to take a shot as of 2 hours after this scene. It's fine.
Yeah, we will have to take a shot.
All right, who is next in the initiative order? Because her extra actions will only go at the end of the initiative order.
She was at 23.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Peterson is at 17. Trying to see if anyone was even close to that. Corey, I think, is at 14 if I take the last number he posted.
Yeah, so Richard Kennings is next.
He is.
Richard, you're up.
And I don't know if I can do this thing, but I'm going to ask if I can do the thing, and then you can say that I can't do the thing.
Okay.
The thing I want to do is correspondence 2, I believe, allows me to manipulate objects through from a distance. Can I use? It says that I can grab and pull items towards me. Can I also not throw a knife, but can I, using that, can I sort of teleport a knife into her throat or something like that?
Do you have matter?
I have correspondence 2, and I have do I have matter? Please tell me I've bought matter. I have matter 1. Yes, I do.
You need matter 2 to do that.
You need matter. I was just about to say that. Yeah, unfortunately.
Sadness.
You can, however, do that ancient and honorable technique of take cover.
That is a thing.
And it is very much a thing, and that's basically what I intend to. Can I try to do that while also trying to move closer to her? Because I'm going to assume that she's focusing on targeting people right now. So if I can move and cover, that could be fun.
Yep, that's fine. You can basically. It's going to take a couple. She's very highly elevated in the sense that she's up what would basically be 2 or 3 stories worth of steps.
Oh
as
shit!
She looks down on you.
Sorry. Okay, well I'm going to try that anyway because why the fuck not? I'm going to try to move closer to her in order to knifey.
I think I have a correct initiative order inside chat.
Yep.
Excellent.
Left off Rick, but same as Liam, so on Dex, is that correct?
Dex wits, yeah.
Yeah, it first goes to who has the higher dex, and then if you have equal dex, you go to who has higher wits.
All right, so Liam has a dex of 3.
Let's go wits.
I have a
I
wits
have
of
3.
4.
You go first.
Okay. Dan, that order is correct.
Awesome.
And I'll just add myself.
So, Kennings, you are basically... It's going to take you about 3 turns worth of actions to get up the stairs. So you basically use your action to duck behind the stairs and attempt to basically shimmy your way up.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Do the stairs grant any cover, by the way?
They do grant cover. However, the bullets are powerful enough to punch through them, so they will not be basically I'm hiding behind it, I cannot be shot. It will make it harder for her to hit you, however.
Higher
and
difference.
will provide you extra soak.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so Finley, you're next.
How far away is this person again? You said 3 stories up, so probably within shotgun range.
Within shotgun range?
Range is listed as 25 for shotguns.
She's at the outer edge of she's at the outer edge of her 25 of 25. But yeah, you could probably make a shot. It'll probably have a slightly increased diff though, because she is higher in elevation and such, and it's harder to shoot into the air.
Well, can I fire and then move behind cover, or is it one or the other?
It's one or the other, dear.
Move behind cover.
Okay. Do you also want to attempt to climb up the stairs?
Which is better cover? Like, is there somewhere else that is better cover than that?
Arguably, the secretary's desk, which appears to be made of marble, would probably be better cover.
Yep, ducking behind that.
Okay, cool. Rory, you're next. You've literally just seen Jackie ventilation in front of you. For the record, I like the term ventilating.
If I pull this off, Magister Boom Boom is going to be very pleased with me.
You know that Magister Boom Boom already broke into this place and got fucked up by it, right?
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
I was
But
going to say, I wasn't
So
sure.
she'll
if
be
you-
really proud of him.
all right,
Yep.
so Rory reaches into his satchel and he takes out a glass arrowhead. Flips it in the air. And then smashes it on the ground.
Okay.
I'm blowing. Okay. I actually think it's a coincidental effect. Let me just look it up. Coincidental level 2 effect with a conjunctional sphere.
To do what?
It's one of the Hermetic classics, Betrayal of the Burning Arrow.
I have no idea what that is.
It is the
Oh,
classic
no.
House Flambeau. House Flambeau wrote.
Make
Beyond
sure
Wrath
to
of the
blow up.
Is it the one where you blow up the other person's magazine?
Yep.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's there's a glass or crystal arrowhead inscribed with the Enochian glyph for the number 8, which is an ill omen number. Its forces so correspondence 1 and forces 2 or 3, depending, because she's already used the gun.
Mhm.
Its forces 2. It inflicts damage as a normal forces attack, and in the process destroys the gun used to fire the targeted bullet.
Awesome.
It also, while a machine gun with a full clip weapon on its last shot inflicts less damage, while a machine gun with a full clip may inflict significantly more. The road is usually coincidental. Basically, it transforms any kinetic energy about to act on the bullet into heat, generally causing the weapon to erupt into flame when the trigger is pulled, and often causing. But in this case, I'm actually using the heat to set off the others.
Okay, well, your effect.
Causing.
Sweet.
Okay. So what's the? That's why I'm just trying to figure out the damage. Or sorry, not the damage. The difficulty.
Oh, it would be, for the record, it will count as vulgar with witnesses.
Why?
Welcome to a sanctum.
Oh, if that makes sense, actually, yeah.
And
Question.
Yes. Yes, Tim?
No, what paradigm is the sanctum?
Didn't quite hear you.
Paradigm is the sanctum. If anyone has a paradigm,
Yeah,
that matches-
only
don't
one
get-
of you here has the paradigm in question, I believe. It's bring back the golden age,
Ooh.
Okay.
which
Not it.
means that Obi can do magic coincidentally in here.
I have that paradigm too.
That means Mark can also do magic in here. My apologies, I thought Obi was the only one.
Yay.
So basically, if it's Vulgar with witnesses, I believe it adds +5.
Difficulty?
It's 3. Yeah, it's 3 for coincidental, 4 for Vulgar without witnesses, and 5 for Vulgar with witnesses.
Okay.
I think. Marcus, isn't that right? That table is right in my head. I think I'm right. Can anyone say that I'm wrong?
You got it,
Pulling
dude.
up the
It's 5.
Yep.
Or Vulgar with
5 plus
Cool.
the highest fear, so 7. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, because even though I'm already
You can of course lower that with quintessence and foci
That's
and
what
such. I'll count the glass arrow as a custom foci because I'll count it as a foci, so it'll knock the difficulty by +1. So that would make it difficulty 6, and you could spend quintessence to lower it by an additional +2 to make difficulty 4.
All right. And I'm going to spend a willpower on this one because if this
Okay.
if this botched, this would be a disaster.
For you, it'll be funny for me.
Yes. Yeah. 4 successes.
Okay.
Oh.
Her rifle explodes. Hang on.
I was going to say,
You were going to say what? Sorry, Sam.
it's like as he smashes the glass arrowhead, he tries to catch her eyes. He says, "For what it's worth, without condoning or condemning, I understand and sympathize." Smash.
Okay. The rifle will burst apart in her hands. She'll kind of flick her hands, kind of like, ow, that hurt.
I thought it's ag damage.
Yes.
She should have just taken 8 levels of ag.
And
Oh,
do they
shit.
take the damage of their weapon, or is it only the weapon that takes the
No,
damage?
they take it as a forces effect, but you can but at the storyteller's discretion, depending how many shots are left, you can add more damage.
I mean, it was a full magazine
System.
of ag boosted
Yeah.
bullets.
So system per page 67, Order of Hermes. Inflicts damage as a normal forces attack, and in the process destroys the gun used to fire the targeted bullet. Storyteller might rule, however, that a weapon on its last shot inflicts less damage, while a machine gun with a full clip may inflict significantly more.
Okay. In that case, so that would have done 8 levels of aggravated damage, so I just have to roll her armor.
+1 success because it's a forces effect.
+1 success because it's a force effect.
Oh, so 5 levels, so that'd be 10 ag.
Alpha Town, oh, Alpha Town. Okay. The gun explodes in her hands. You see blood and shrapnel as one of her hands drops limp by her side. She will then snarl and she's still alive. The armor appears to have taken... It didn't take... I'm not going to say it took the brunt of it because she is very visibly hurt, but the armor appears to have taken a lot of it.
Wow.
Never leave home without 10 points of armor, kids.
Yeah. My connection may drop. Apparently there's some issues in my area. That's one of the reasons
Okay.
I was putting a lot into that.
That's cool. You have cost her both her weapon and her ability to use an arm.
Yay. I feel bad.
Next, we have Sam.
Cool.
Samira.
Hey, question. Does her armor have any gaps in it?
It now has a gigantic gap in it where a hole has been blown in it by an exploding sniper rifle.
Cool. Yeah, I have my knife. Can I make a forces infused knife throw to her weak point?
Okay. You would need the forces for the knife to actually physically get there, because as I say, she's 25 plus feet away, and she's at an elevated target. So you could do it. You'd need the forces for the knife to get there, and it would be difficult, but it could be done.
I only have forces 2. I wouldn't be able to get it with my normal strength score.
Forces 2 should do it. It's on page 68. I was looking at it.
That's why I said, yeah, you need to put the forces in. What's your normal strength score?
3.
Throwing a knife upwards at a 90 degree elevation. Probably not with any real impetus or force at that point in the velocity. If you put the forces into it, yes, you can hit her and do damage. If you don't put the forces into it, you'll throw the knife. But by the time it gets up there, it'll have lost most of its oomph.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that forces effect then.
Okay.
I will spend that willpower.
You spend that willpower.
So we start at diff 7 for this.
Mm-hmm.
Bear in mind,
by the way, guys, bear in mind that you will be taking points of paradox whenever you use a magical effect. Just keep notes.
It's one.
What paradox did I get, Evan?
Just one, because it was
just
a successful effect. Sorry, what was that, Tim?
Oh, I was just going to let you know. I never do it anyway. We'll drop 2 points of Quint for some.
To lower the diff.
To make that shit.
Awesome.
And let's see how it goes. Okay, there's 2 successes.
Okay. Do you want to roll me the actual throw? Do you want to actually roll me the throw now? I'll give it the standard upgrade. So it'll be -2 to hit, which will bring it down from a difficulty 8 to hit to a difficulty 6, and it'll do an automatic 2 successes on damage if it hits.
Okay. Oh man, that is a miss.
Okay. The knife will go searing past her head and probably embed itself in the wall.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Dice roll to dice. Oh crap, Zekiro. I mean, yay, it's Zekiro.
Eat that soul.
Womp womp womp.
Fuck you mean?
Eat them.
First off, okay.
Oh wait a minute, my bad. Oh no, wait, no. She got the automatic successes on the damage, not on the attack. My bad.
Yep.
So before I start doing this, I'm gonna double check. She doesn't have the enchantment where, if I do damage to him, it comes back at me, right?
They do not possess that enchantment, no.
Okay. Beautiful. Hold on, I'm looking for exactly what it's called again. I can't remember off the top of my head, even though I know everything on this fucking wonder. I'm gonna do. I don't know. Both of them are horrible. I love them. Necrosynthesis. So I'm gonna just do my wonder.
I've seen this one before.
Why you gotta say it like that? Damn. I don't like that giggle. Oh. Oh. See, you make me want to change my action now, but I can't do anything else. Oh. I fear for my wonder now.
Excellent.
No. Don't do that.
I like how with a simple, innocent titter, I have made Kim fearful.
There's no such thing as
Classic.
innocent in that particular case.
Unscrew.
Not for you. You've got the whole little. Hold on. I have a perfect picture. There.
That is
Yep.
what Kim thinks I look like whenever I run scenes, apparently.
No, just like whenever you. That's all I can imagine. Is like he's even doing the little hand rub of evil.
Little hand rub of evil.
I don't like it.
Kim, do you want to roll your effect or do you not?
You can always take cover.
Way ahead of you.
I would still need line of sight though, so I'd have to peek out, and she can still shoot me. So might as well just be there like a bitch, so she doesn't have to precise shoot like my eye or something.
I love how we're all assuming that her gun exploding will not stop her from sniping you.
You never
She
know.
no longer has her sniper rifle.
That
She does,
doesn't.
however, from even where you're sitting, have 2 holsters on her head.
Exactly. There we go. Like, I don't have any wraith goons to throw into her body and let them fucking duke it out. Actually, wait. Are any of my wraith guards here with me?
No.
Fuck. What a bunch of fucking losers. I only have them there for one thing and they're never there when I need it. God, what the fuck are they useful for?
I mean, you could have Shen try and be proactive.
I have returned. What I miss?
You know, I'm gonna do a life prime effect to just deal ag damage to this bitch.
Okay.
So that's plus 5. Ooh, this is difficulty 8. I don't like it. I'm gonna use my fan as a focus.
7.
And I'm gonna spend some more quint, and I'm gonna lower it down to a 7. I'm gonna spend 2 quint and lower it to 5.
Okay. Roll them bones.
Also spend a willpower. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
4 successes.
All right. Do that
Oh.
sweet. Oh wait, actually, hang on. Based on that, how do you physically make it look?
I don't want to do like a Kamehameha. Just fuck you. Because I mean, it should affect her body, kind of, because it is life. I'm using, you know.
Yes, but I mean, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to crush her heart? Do you want to?
Oh, if I
I
can
mean,
crush her heart, then I'm totally up for just like crushing this bitch's heart.
All right. Ikiro will point and with her fan, you will see blood erupt from under the lower face mask this person has on as they clutch their chest. They will then proceed to fall from where they're perched and land crashing onto the back on the ground.
Ew.
For those of you with life sight, she's very visibly dead.
Well, ain't that just special?
Kem, it is, however, your turn, as for some reason we're still in the initiative order.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
All right. Using mine, can I sense any other consciousnesses?
I'd
Sense
like to
any
do
other
the
minds
same roll.
nearby?
Do you want to roll me that sweet consciousness sight? Or mind sight, rather?
Sure can. I'm going to spend 2 quint.
By the way, these coincidental sensory effects, we're not going to get paradox when we start doing these, right?
When you roll them, you will.
Even though they're coincidental?
Even
They're
well,
not
because in a
coincidental
sanctum they're
here.
never coincidental.
Oh.
Well, to Kamul they are because he shares the paradigm here. What was your successes?
2.
Her mind is still active, even though her body is dead.
Damn it!
Rude ass little bitch.
Do it.
Is there a time effect up on her?
Not
Is
currently.
that watch on her? Do you
All right,
guys
that's it
remember
for
that
me.
watch she had?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, that's what I meant.
There is no watch currently on her.
There's no, like, I have time sight up. Is there anything?
Currently, no. I've said it twice.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Liam, your turn. Oh wait, hang on. No, sorry, Kemmel. Do you tell the people that her mind is still active even though she's dead?
Yes, he will say, she's still up. She's still up.
Interesting question, but is he... Well, I wouldn't know to ask this. Never mind.
So I got this weird, funny thing in my head, and I want to be aggressive with it. So I'm gonna stare with a destructive intent with the funny thing in my head at the body.
Oh Christ. Oh Christ. Oh Christ. Okay. Okay. Roll me that 5 dots of verite. How much quintessence are you investing into the effect?
I'm gonna go with 1 right now.
Alright, so that would mean it is difficult to... That would mean it is difficult to... Sorry, it will count as coincidental in here. It is difficulty 5 plus 3 is 8. It's difficulty 8, so you can so 1 point of quintessence will lower it to difficulty 7. You can lower it to difficulty 5 if you want to spend 3. It's up to you what you do.
I don't have that much extra.
Oh no, the eye has its own quintessence pool.
How much does the eye have?
Like 30 something.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll spend 3.
Okay.
So we'll do this.
It's okay.
Can I spend a willpower?
Yeah, no, not on a treasure you can't.
4 successes.
Okay. Hi, guys. For every point of paradox everyone in this room has, they take an immediate unsoakable aggravated damage.
Fuck my life.
Holy shit.
Glad I got
However,
none.
However,
Same here, Solon.
the mind effect immediately is eradicated from existence from Kamul's perspective in a shining, bright, crystallizing light that purges the magical effect from being. Oh, by the way, everyone will also have all of their paradox destroyed via this action.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
It is pattern. it is, however, pattern damage and cannot be healed.
Oh.
Even magically?
Even magic, it's pattern damage.
Yeah, it needs to be healed.
So I just took
funny
3
story
out
about
of the
that.
flag.
Yes.
Yeah, it needs to be
He was like, I want to use the eye destructively. Okay, Jim, you want to use the paradox spear's eye destructively.
So
Can you all look back to Liam and say,
no, I have a very important question.
It doesn't affect
I did
you.
it.
Okay, because I was about to say, so I'm gonna die.
So just to be sure, if you said something about a mind effect being gone now, does that include our mind shield? Those of us who have it.
No, it just eats your paradox, but in exchange, it hurts you like a bitch.
Okay, well I don't have any paradox.
He was referring to the mind effect that was on the sniper.
Oh, okay.
That was keeping her mind active. That was eradicated.
Okay.
By the way, Kim, there's a wraith there now.
Nom, 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 nom.
Surprise, it's mine.
No, it's not, Kim, because it hasn't been reaped.
I'll be.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
You know what?
What
I'll
was
be
that?
At least you'll have
What was that, Tim?
to deal with getting more paradox now.
So everyone here feels slightly worse for wear.
Yeah, that didn't feel good, I bet.
So-
What paradox?
Yeah.
Lucky bastards. So
Yeah,
I want
no.
to do.
So
Hmm.
what happened when I glared angrily with my good eye at the thing?
Basically, there was an incredible surge of energy through the eye that essentially deemed all magic and all paradox as being an offensive weapon, detonated the paradox, and drew its resonance into the eye.
And Liam very casually afterwards goes, I did not expect that.
Kimio will say, that worked. That definitely worked.
Finley
What
just
do you
comes
wanna-
out from under the desk. Is she done shooting?
What did you want to do, Kim, by the way?
I wanted to do two things. One was just to see if this works. I'm gonna try to quote unquote reap her. So I'm gonna take the scythe and I'm gonna slice it through and see what happens. I'm assuming it's gonna be nothing, just like all the reapers.
Correct.
And then I want to bring
Break.
her body back because I want a little undead bodyguard.
But Kim, do you want to break free?
What do you mean I want to break free?
Song.
The song.
Queen.
I want to
To break free.
Yes,
Forget,
Kim, you can.
Evan, that's my paradigm.
You're not wrong. You can bring her back if you really want to. It will count as vulgar with witnesses.
That's fine. I'll take the docs. And I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna use my wonder and bring her back because something tells me that would be a really stupid ass idea. I'm gonna just use. I think it's like. I think I have all the spheres required for it. Let me go back to the fucking page. And how do you do it? If my god darn book will fucking load. It's being a bitch right now.
I will
Pretty
point
sure
out,
it's just like
yes,
spirit
her
or
main,
something.
to look at the side chat, yes, her main gun was destroyed. However, she does have two sidearms, one in a holster on each hip.
Are they
Yeah, that
enchanted?
was a thing.
Is her
Are they
remaining
one-
weapon enchanted?
Yes, they're all enchanted.
I'll take.
Okay.
Is actually does she? I'm going to look for her knife. I want one of those knives.
I don't know who's closer because as soon as she falls, Richard will also go and see what he can loot from her.
Important
God
question.
damn, we all turned into a bunch of fucking D&D people today, didn't we?
Do you guys pick up her gun? Any of them?
I'm not. I'm looking for the knife.
Yeah, me too, actually.
She has
Doesn't
two of the
require-
knives. She has her knives sheathed just below her back.
Richard
I'm
will.
going to take one of them.
I'm taking the other one.
I was gonna say I was
Is
gonna
Jack-
go for the gun for the knife, but I don't know who of us.
Is Jackie,
Hmm?
is Jackie dead? Evan, can I do first aid?
Is Jackie what?
He's dead.
Is Jackie
yes.
dead?
He
Is
is.
dead?
He is
Can I do
very
first?
I'm an X.
He's not mostly dead. He is dead.
Evan,
Yes.
you have two people going for the knife. Which one of us get it?
Whoever
There's two
wants to roll
knives.
Dex Brawl and punch the other one.
Wait. Oh, roll
Finley's
that.
just gonna look at you and be like, "Let me ask you one question. You came in with," and he nods over towards Rory and the others. You know how to hurt someone with a fireball or something?
Who's he asking?
You, since you were going for the knife.
He says sometimes it's also a good idea to have to have other means at your disposal.
This gun
So
is
I've got
literally
5,
the
6,
only
7.
means I've got.
Rory grabs the knife. He
For the
leaves.
record, you guys will start to see the assassin rise very
Didn't-
jerkingly to her feet.
Didn't you say Dex Brawl to find out who gets it?
Yes.
Well, if you're going to
Saying
fight
if we
over it,
punched each other.
Oh,
I
lol!
rolled 5 on it.
No!
I
I'm just gonna.
grab.
I mean, I don't want to start a fight. I'm just going for the gun, and I assumed that since I was closer than the others, I would. Okay.
I think it depends on, once again, okay, guys, we get it. You want some loot. She has 2 knives, 1 on each hip that is infused with premium.
Okay, she has 2 knives. Well, in that case, there's no problem. Both of us get one.
Yeah.
I said,
I also have my action. I get 3 extra actions. I could just
Oh yeah, okay.
do one.
anyway,
Ninja.
kittywinks. I should
It's
probably
stand-
point out that the assassin is standing up. I've said it twice.
Ah!
Oh,
Stop!
I take the knife and I run.
Same here.
They
Focus
will,
on Jackie standing back up.
they will bow to Ikiro, and they will say, "Command me, mistress."
I assume this is not too unusual for my character who's been around them way too damn much recently.
That's
Yeah.
creepy.
Uh-huh.
Tim, yes.
Y'all
it is.
tingly.
No. I'm talking to the thing Marcus said.
Marcus is not actually standing up.
Oh, hold on a second, guys. Wait. We're still in. Sorry, we were still in the first round of combat when everything happened, right?
Yes. Why?
Okay. I just wonder how phenomenally hubristic I want to be here, for the sake of helping out Marcus.
Marcus
If you
is
try,
dead,
to
dear.
if you try to reverse the effects of the round, everything goes back 1 round. Not
I
just
know.
1 person.
No, I am aware. That's why I'm saying.
Oh, please, God, don't. Because as soon as you interfere with the time stream, the fight can change.
I know.
You
It's up
guys,
to you.
if I could continue talking, like there was a way that I can bring Jackie back if I could just,
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Let's go with that then. I apologize, Kim. I didn't hear that.
So she'll look at the assassin and she'll just kind of smile and say, "For now, follow me and wait till I give you a better command."
As you
Then
wish, mistress.
and she will turn around to Sam. Because Sam is the next Euthanatos in the room. She's going to look at Sam and she will say, "It is difficult, but it is possible for me to bring him back. I understand your your tradition have a problem with this, but he would not be undead. His spirit and his avatar would be brought back. It is complete and true resurrection."
Richard raises an eyebrow and looks at her. "Forgive me for asking," he says, "but that sounds like there's a catch somewhere that we need to know about as well."
Was I talking to you?
he laughs and says, "Well, on your own head be it." And
The assassin,
does a washing hand motion.
the assassin immediately becomes incredibly hostile in Richard's direction. Not quite striking him, but it looms. If it could
As soon as the zombie moves over towards him, Richard looks at it. And he let's see, charisma wouldn't be manipulation. I don't have any intimidation. He just looks at it a bit unimpressed. Can I? Do I need to roll for that?
No, not really. You're just looking at it unimpressed.
And then, like, oh, hey, zombie, go play somewhere else. And then I don't know, whatever he was doing.
Okay. Sam was still asked an ethical question that Sam is still pondering, though.
Yeah. Sam will look to Kirio and ask, and I would have to follow that up with 3 questions. What catch is there to this?
The catch is simply that in my time of need, I ask that I am not forgotten.
Number 2, that we can call and get Jackie's consent on this.
We will not be able to do that. I'm assuming Jackie's Wraith is there, by the way?
No, he's not.
Oh.
There is, however, a raven that is visible in the spirit world, sitting on the table, looking where his corpse is.
So she'll kind of look over to the Raven, look back over to Myra and say, I believe the Morgan has claimed that already, so I have no want to kind of fight her for that. Well, fight her to ask Jackie anyway. I could ask her, though, or at least the Raven. I'm assuming it's the Morgan. Or one of her pawns.
He always had a connection to her. It's about as close to anything as we're going to get right now.
And your third question?
You had already answered it with the first, when you said that what you would want in return is to not be forgotten, although you say that. When sewer life on the line, you want us to go all out with it?
Maybe not exactly that, but when I am in need of some help, it is best not to forget kindnesses such as
I'm sorry, that was very quiet. What was that?
my bad. Okay. She'll just say,
am I the only one who can't hear Kim?
'cause
I can't hear
Your
you.
thing.
hello?
Well,
Can't
We can
hear
hear
now.
you. I can hear him. I've had no problem hearing him.
I did pause for a moment to kind of think over what she was going to say, and then like everyone started screaming, and I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, testing?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, because I kind of like temporarily forgot, it was like when you're in trouble, just go out, all out, or you'd want us to go all out, if I remember.
Yeah.
Not particularly go all out, as you say, just when I am in need of some help. All I ask is that this deed is not forgotten, if it indeed it is done.
Well, before we do any of that, we have to get some form of consent first. This is a big deal. And it's not something that I can sign off on. Is his Wraith even there?
No. As I said, the Raven is. I suppose we could ask the Raven.
Probably be the best.
Um,
Be our best choice.
Sorry, I ask something here. Just actually, Austin, this affects you too.
Brr.
So the clause 2 of the oath: I shall not through action or inaction endanger the order, nor consort with devils or the undead, nor anger the Fae.
We are not taking part. We are not doing this. This is on them.
Richard
Is
moves
that
over.
through inaction?
Richard moves closer to the two of them and says, "The three of us. what could we do if we what could we do here?
No, this is out of character. I'm just like I just want to be clear.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Like, what is our moral and legal obligation here to the order?
To the order, yeah. I'm a relative newbie to the game, so I'm not sure. Sorry.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna go with
Evan.
Title 5
Yes.
overrules.
Okay, so I was asking out of character.
Uh-huh.
Clause 2 of the Hermetic Oath. I shall not through action or through an action or inaction endanger the order, nor consort with devils or the undead, nor anger the Fae.
Uh-huh.
Are we okay with this?
Well, technically, it depends. Ultimately speaking, depends how you interpret the oath. In theory, she has said that he will not be undead. So,
Okay.
if that is indeed the case, and he is not unliving, it does not breach any tenets of your oath.
Neither are we consorting with devils, undead. This is not a fae that we are dealing with.
Once again, it would depend on the individual hermetic in question and how they view the tenets.
My
Yeah.
particular hermetic is this is on them. When this goes bad, this is on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Richard is gonna stick to the he won't be undead part of the statement, and then say, well, that was what was said.
Okay.
Also, because instigating trouble here right now is probably not a good idea.
Oh, we should maybe we should go look for Magister.
Richard nods.
All right, so Kim, what is the plan?
I was gonna go talk to the Raven.
Oh, for the record, you can now when Ikiro makes her way to talk to the Raven, there's a Raven sitting on that desk. Or standing on that desk. All of you can see it.
You'll kind of motion for Sam to just kind of follow as well, because Jackie probably likes Sam a little better if, we end up talking to Jackie, so.
That's fair. Alrighty.
The Raven looks at you and blinks its large black eyes.
I have a question for you. Is it possible that we may speak to Jackie?
The Raven quirks its head to the side and crows 3 times in that rasping kind of crackly sound that ravens and crows make. Hey Jackie, how you doing? You doing good? How's death? You enjoying it?
It's relaxing.
Jackie, when you closed your eyes, you saw only darkness. However, now you are standing back in the room, looking down on your freshly dead body. You see an avatar of the Morrigan, who you would know as clear as day, regardless where you stood, seated upon the table in the form of a raven. And it is looking at you with black, piercing eyes.
Hey,
Both Sam and Iki can also now both see Jackie.
Mr. Kinrowan, good to see you again.
hey, Lady Iki, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. I have a question to ask you. If that is all right.
Shoot, I got plenty of time, I guess.
Indeed. As I have explained to Miss Sam, I understand that your tradition does not look favorably upon coming back to life, especially being an undead. Which is why I asked her isn't first. But there's a way, difficult as it may be, that you may be brought back. You would not be undead. You would still be living, breathing. Your avatar would also be there. It would be complete and true resurrection, as if you had never been shot in the first place.
Right. What's the question?
Would you like that to happen? So that you may continue serving?
So the lady showed up, let you talk to me, and let me ask this your question. Reckon she want me to. I just kind of dead hanging out wherever it is they hang out at. So, I mean, no, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Because, well, she's in control of everything. I have faith in whatever she's going to do, she's going to do.
You'll just kind of look over to Sam. Just kind of like that. Okay, well, we've gotten permission kind of look.
Okay, because I barely understood all that. I just sort of... Hey, Jackie. You're okay with this?
Well, the lady says I can talk to you. And the lady didn't say, hey, you can't come back, Jackie. The lady said, you got a choice. I got the option to come back. Ain't no reason to stay dead if I don't have to. Shit.
Right.
I'm afraid you are going to have to stay in the Shadowlands for a tad bit longer. It would not be safe for me to do this ritual here. But we will carry your body along, and when we get out of here, that's when it will happen.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Boys and girls, another accoutrement. You proceed to move up the stairs after Jackie and this conversation has taken place, and you find yourself standing in front of a great set of double doors that lead into what you could assume would normally be the office section of this building. However, you hear as you walk towards it, it almost feels as if the floorboards themselves rhythm, jive and move with the sound of that beating, the sound of that ticking. The doors stand before you.
I'm going to try a quick effect to locate the source of the ticking. Correspondence in time.
Okay.
Relative to where we are. Like, I want to know where the clock is. The massive clock. The Atlantis clock. Is that a possible effect?
I will tell you right now, with your time sight, based on the time distortion itself, it's right behind those doors.
Okie dokie. Are there people behind those doors?
You have no idea.
I have life correspondent. Okay, I guess. I can't sense them.
Nope.
Or,
Beyond
like,
that
or the
door,
bottom.
it is for all of you. Beyond that door, there is nothing, but you know that there is something.
And we can't hear anything either.
You can hear the reverberating ticking, and that's about it.
There's no arguments.
No.
Mm-mm.
Kimio will try the door to see if it's open.
The door will swing open.
He'll peek his head in and look around inside.
Inside, you get the distinct impression this room should not be in this place. It is a large egg-shaped room, and you stand on a railing that circumvents the central point of it. You see in the center a great collection of gears, some of them huge and mighty, some of them tiny and intricate. You see a clock around which there are 12 signs, 12 sigils to represent the 12 hours, and one sigil for each minute and moment in between. The clock has many hands that tick discordantly, this way and that. Locked within the center, locked within the very deepest core, there's something that shines with the glorious brightness of the sun itself, giving light and hope to the masses and yet damning them all with its solar energy. This room is so filled with magic, it almost tantalizes the skin. You can taste it on your tongue. You can hear the words of power that went into this thing as you stand before the monolith, and the monolith stands before you. I did wonder how long it would be before you came here. Though ultimately, I suppose that time is an illusion. There's a figure standing on the same gangplank you're on, facing directly towards the large clock face that ticks so discordantly. In its hand, it has a spear, a staff of sorts, in which there is also a ticking clock. The figure is the one I have posted a picture of.
Is it Magister Metz?
It is, in fact, an older version of the man you saw.
It is or is not? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
It is.
Okay. Magister Metz.
Magister no longer, boy, but Metz, yes. So, for the record, I will point out, as he moves, you notice the fact he's leaning very heavily on the spear or the staff, and you notice the fact that one of his arms, he's not wearing the gloves. He's only wearing the gloves on one of his hands, and one of the arms appears to be reddened, blackened, as if it had suffered horrible burns.
Is this the same staff that was on that the dude that we kind of murderized the other day?
Yep, and they talk with roughly the same voice.
But no tits.
God damn it, Solon, I swear to God. No, there was a story to this. Evan found a really cool picture of basically the thing that he was inhabiting at that time. However, Evan didn't seem to realize it had breasts, and my response to when it was pointed out to me was, well, fuck it.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah, you were. My apologies. Okay. That's context for everyone else then. He will say...
Master Metz, was that how it happened? Was that a moment? Was that the moment in time? Every detail?
That was. It was in that moment that I knew that the Order was a lie. A fallacy created by men who claimed to have power simply so they could overpower others.
I wish I had something clever to say in response to that, but
Richard looks at the man and says, "Well, I wouldn't say a lie. He says with a bright smile on his face that still hides a seriousness beneath it. It's worked rather well for the past thousands of years.
No, it hasn't.
You looked at the order hasn't worked well?
No.
Oligarchies and meritocracies don't always work out. But this is where we're at. Either way, this asshole wants to stop all of us from existing.
That's not true, child.
No, he wants to stop time because he thinks it would be a better world without it. And I happen to disagree, as do the rest of us, I assume, or we wouldn't be here.
And Wrinkle is the one that wants to remove the city from the timeline.
Master Metz, even if you defeat all of us, even if you get this to work, it won't. It's going to have the same fate as Atlantis. You're going to destroy, not you're going to destroy, but as a result of your actions, Dublin will be destroyed. It will be taken out of the time stream in Dublin. Wrinkle said so.
Yes, I have no doubt. He will say, leaning on his staff, and he will say, however, in Atlantis, they lacked what I have. They attempted to power the clock by something that could not provide enough power. For those of you who have not seen him, Master Wrinkle is dying. He no longer has the power to carry out his threats. After all, if you are the paradox spirit of time, keeping the paradox of time aligned, but if time itself ceases to be, then you are a universal constant who is not needed. Don't you understand, children? He will raise his hand and he will say, and with one swoop, with one move, with one position on the chessboard, you could see your loved ones again, those who you have not held, have not kissed, have not felt the breath of in decades. Not only that, but in one sweep we win the Ascension War. When consciousness and causality become such that it no longer matters, when time itself fades, all it is will people come to accept the fact that magic, born of our will and our wishes, is not but just true, but an absolute and certain fact. Then we can have freedom.
You honestly have the hubris to think that you understand what the universe will be like without one of the things that it's had pretty much since its start? And you know exactly how that's going to play out, and you think you have the right to make that decision for everyone else in existence.
Is that not the
That's
sin?
insane.
Is that not the sin of us Magi, our hubris? That we think that we are man-made gods?
I suppose so. And then when someone like you comes along, we collectively go, yeah, that's a step too far, and we put you back in your place, from everything I've heard.
Finley, can you...
When you remove time, when you stop the flow, you have rendered every single sacrifice inert. You have rendered every potential chance for growth or blossom gone. You have locked us into a static reality. You have made everything that led us to today not matter. You decided, you were hurt, you were wounded, you were offended, you went mad, and you want to put the sacrifice of every single activist and loved one that I cared for and put it in the fucking trash bin? You want to render the sacrifices and the nobility of humanity and people like Martin Luther King and Gandhi inert? You want to stop it all. You want to make it so the things that I cared for, and my friends in Boston, and my friends in Charlotte, and my friends in Chicago fought for on a daily fucking basis, and you just want to make that not matter?
I would argue, my child, that
Fuck
it is
you!
the people. Okay. I would argue, my child, it is the people who fought those battles who matter, not the deeds or indeed the ignominiety of their deaths or sacrifices. They may have been carved from the stone and chiseled by their pain. However, in a world where there is pain no more, then you will have your friends returned. You will be able to see their eyes again, kiss their lips, make it so that the universe can be a brighter place. Do you not understand?
They died for a goddamn reason. They gave themselves, they did everything. They fulfilled their life's purpose. Yes, I want to see Charles's eyes again. Yes, I want to go drinking with Sissy. Yes, I want to get high, and I want to throw bottles of beer off the overpass with the kids I went to high school with, but they all died. They're dead. They're gone. That's a fucking fact. And they all died for a reason. And that was to stop oppressors, that was to stop tyranny, and that was to stop madness. They were the ones who died fighting the police. They were the ones who died saving the fallen. And you want to render that inert. You want to render the effect they had on the universe null and void. So what? You can get a hug from your daddy?
The long and short of it, Richard speaks up, is that this cannot go on. You have set yourself above everyone else in existence, thinking that your pathetic wishes are more important than everyone else's, and no, they're not.
I don't think those wishes are pathetic.
So,
And I don't.
those next to Liam will see the hackles on the back of his neck are raised. He pissed.
Yeah.
He mad AF.
Master Metz. I don't think what you want is pathetic. I am sympathetic. I truly am. But this is not, you can't do this because no one's ever done it before. You know, or it's right, or who gives you the right, you know.
Actually,
the reality is whoever has the power has the right, you know, has, I don't say the right, they'll define as right. But you're fucking with a fundamental constraint, a defining characteristic of reality. You're fucking with God here. And just think what happens when a mage dies. Okay? That last effect they're able to affect, and how destructive it can be. Let's say you're right. Let's say Wrinkle is dying. Let's say you kill him. What last effect could he throw?
Okay. Something Evan just wants to say here briefly is we've heard a lot from the Hermetics, but I want to know if anyone else actually wants to say anything, because, you know, this is everyone's moment to to say what they feel. And as I say, we've heard a lot from the Hermetics in question, so I want to know if anyone else wants to say anything.
Oh, Sam has a few things she wants to say, but the Hermetics seem like they still get some stuff out.
As I said, okay, sorry. In that case, I'm not going to create like a speaking order, but Mark, you wanted to say something, and then we'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah, Richard will take a deep breath and collect himself a little bit before he will put on his best face and then look at the former magister. And then he gives his widest smile and says, "All of us here saw what happened, Magister," he says, and he does say it in a way that indicates that he knows he's not actually a Magister anymore, but more of a politeness. And none of us here are unsympathetic to you, but the thing here is that there are larger issues at stake as well, and I'm sure that you can see that as well. It is therefore that this cannot continue, and I'm going to roll back. This cannot continue. Surely you must see that. And Richard's player is going to roll charisma empathy, if he's allowed to.
If you want to try and convince him of something, it's charisma. It's charisma expression. It would be empathy in order to see what he's feeling.
Yep, that's even better. Just a sec.
So,
I will point out I'm trying to give other people a chance to talk.
Yeah.
So, in that now it is Sam's turn to speak.
Sam just kind of looks down and looks up at the dude. And she just says, "At the end of the day, when the wheel turns, it is time that pushes that wheel along naturally. As to say time is what wounds, both emotional and physical. It is how we persevere, afraid of the future, but future shouldn't exist. Into our past, despise it with a fiery passion, but that doesn't mean that it should be made irrelevant. By rendering our past, present, and future entirely null and void, we lose each of what makes us ourselves. Or, a much more horrifying thought, we live through everything as if it just happened, regardless of when in the timeline it did. And on that note, Sam's going to kind of rub the scar on her neck. Everyone will notice that Sam has a scar right where her jugular is. And she'll say that we should not be living through constantly, as if they are happening right now. Away from people. All this would do is destroy.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they wish to say?
I'll let others respond.
Ditto. I have other things I want to say, but yeah, I'll let others.
The dead cannot go on to their final rest. You cannot burn down the world for this moment that has long since flown away from you. You have to let this go.
Okay. Anyone else? Because I sense once again I'm kind of holding back I'm kind of keeping the Hermetics from kind of screaming more at him. So does anyone else have anything to say before I let loose the Hermetics of war? Oh God, no!
Oh God,
what could go?
Well,
So-
yes, I want to see what he.
So, Iki's just... She's bored. She's honestly so bored with all of this, just kind of banter. So she's looking rather bored. It's kind of, it's an anime style fucking, scythe. She's just kind of anime style, leaning on the staff and shit like that. Not staff, scythe, but there's a point there. And she'll just kind of look over at the guy and say, to really be honest and frank, I have a feeling that your mindset is not really going to change. So can you just be frank? Are we all wasting our time as they monologue at you? Because, well, it's boring. And usually I skip through the dialogue when playing a game just so I can start beating on the boss.
Hey, Evan,
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a Facebook post. How many rounds do you think have taken place?
Many
What's the maximum bonus you can get?
for aiming. I will leave it +3.
Okay.
It's actually, you're limited by your perception.
Ah, there we go. That answers that question.
Which is the same in this case, so that's fine.
Okay. Hermetics, feel free to shout at him again.
Hold on, I need a deep breath.
Did my roll do anything? Wink, wink.
You took him aback for a few moments. Once again, you're dealing with someone who pretty much has made up their mind. You're trying to convince the stone that it should be water.
That's true.
Yeah, if he didn't have any conviction about his ideals, we wouldn't be at this point.
I mean, I assume that if I had enough in matter, I could actually make the stone into water, but that's a different story. Yeah.
And
You
no,
go,
Master Kennings, I am entirely unsympathetic with this fucking fuck. No, I am entirely unsympathetic with his ideals. I do not agree with, I do not support, I don't think this is a brilliant fucking plan. I like to see flowers. I would like to see flowers bloom in the fucking spring. I would like to see leaves change in fucking autumn. I don't want to see just the same springtime picture and forever fucking snowstorm that is outside. No, I think this guy's an asshole and somebody should put a bullet in his head.
Richard, sir.
On that note,
Richard, sir, has no one here
Hold
said
on.
that the
Hold on.
plan is
Oh, wait,
good?
hang on. I believe shit is about to kick off.
on that exact note,
Oh,
Come
Christ.
on!
hey,
No, hang
I
on,
cannot
hang on, whoa, whoa.
ask for more perfect moment than that. If I waited for an
Right.
hour,
Okay.
splitting into 3 actions because that's the maximum rate of fire for this weapon.
Okay, shoot them if you want to shoot them.
Doing it.
Okay.
All right. I had 5 successes on it.
2, 3, 4, 5. If I've got 5 dice, does that mean I go 2, 2, 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't botch, fam. I got you.
I assume I do have line of sight at this point. You know, I've
Okay.
had many rounds.
Yes.
Okay. Diff 6 standard.
Yes.
1. That's a hit. Want me to roll damage or just see how many hit?
Oh, no, roll damage. By the way, how are you all standing as the bullets immediately fly straight back at you? With the same unequal force.
Actually, just to be... Not to make it worse for us, but actually he's using a shotgun.
That's
Oh,
why he said how all of you
shit.
standing.
I don't know. Did we specify that when we started?
Ooh,
Yes, I did specify this is a shotgun, unfortunately.
No, yeah. I mean, did we specify where we all were standing? That's what I meant. I don't think.
Sorry.
On the plus side, there's only 1 success, so dodging this, well, you can't dodge bullets, never mind. Unless you're an Akashic.
I can dodge bullets.
I can dodge bullets, motherfuckers.
Bullet dodging.
Hashtag that.
I have
topic.
Slipstream up. Can I dodge bullets?
Yes, you can.
Sweet.
I'm just shit out of luck, apparently.
All good. I brought my sweat. I brought my vest.
All right. So guys, if you want to make me those sweet Dex Athletics rolls to GTFO out of the way, as somebody decides to pop a pot shot at him without anybody asking me what magical effects he might have up. That's sweet eating.
That
So,
prime side is all I
so
gotta
I
say.
don't have any athletics. I assume I roll straight backs at a higher difficulty, right?
You don't roll at a higher difficulty because it's not. You only roll skills at a higher difficulty, and you can't roll knowledges untrained. Or sorry, it's either talent. I always get them mixed up in my head. You can
So,
just
yeah,
roll
yeah,
dexterity
If
standard
you do
diff.
not have if you do not have a skill, you
Okay.
can roll it at +1 difficulty. Talents are no increase in difficulty, and knowledge just cannot be rolled unless you have jack of all trades.
There we go.
Just fucking
So
do
that's
that.
athletics then?
Yes.
Okay.
If we're able to dodge the bullet.
Which I'm not, so.
Yep.
Mm,
I will point out, Ikiro. Okay, of the people here, Ikiro, Samira, Samira, and Kemal are the only ones I believe. Oh, and Rory can dodge the bullets.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I rolled that.
Yep.
The rest of us are just fucked.
You're probably fine because
It depends. Solon, would you like to roll your damage?
Sure.
You can dodge bullets at diff 9.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you?
Oh, you
And-
can? Okay. Yeah, sure.
Well then.
How much damage?
That's
Well, I don't have any specialties.
that's
So
eight
that's
success.
only 8.
And here goes the stamina roll.
I do not get my damage roll. Or my dodge roll. At diff 9. So, stamina.
Well, you
Ooh.
can't soak lethal.
yeah, he can. I buffed him.
Rory
Oh, yeah,
put
okay.
a soak effect on me.
Awesome.
He can soak with his stamina for whatever that's worth.
And I get 1 success. But
Feeling.
that doesn't really do me much good.
I get 1
You mean-
success.
Okay. How much damage does it do, Solon?
It's 8.
8 damage
Plus
minus
rollover.
1 for everyone who's rolled here. I think we've got 4 people dead.
You did 8 damage?
Look at the roll. It came up 10s and 8s and 6.
I am
maximum
incapacitated.
One of the
I am incapacitated.
Oh yeah, well, 7 doesn't kill you then, it just incapacitates you.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, 3 or 4 of us just instantly are down.
Yep.
Did no one
Oh, that's
fucking...
close to a TPK.
And
Nice.
the problem is though that he split his action into 3. So unless he can change
Does
that,
he soak his own?
I don't get to fire 3 shots in a row because that's
Okay,
3
good.
separate actions.
yeah. Okay. Good.
No, you did get a fire 3 shots.
Split your
No,
breastbone,
it's not.
remember?
It's not a 3. It's
Exactly.
not like an assault rifle. It's not a 3-bullet burst.
Yeah,
You took
essentially,
3 shots,
he had
though,
to
I thought.
split his, yeah, he had to split his dice pool, so each one would be a separate attack as he
Okay.
pumped and shot.
Exactly.
So thankfully, he pumped and shot once, knocked a whole bunch of people on the ground, but then he himself was knocked on the ground, so it's
Okay.
not.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Okay,
he,
that
he
makes
went down as well. That's good then.
By the way, you know who we can thank for this?
Okay, so the
Time. Thank you, causality. Saved us from dying here.
He will sigh exasperatedly as he kind of, you know what? He's actually going to look down and say, "Really, really."
so let me try this.
Hey, we're unconscious.
Because that was a dodge.
He'll just kind of say, to be fair, apprentices are not smart.
I'm not wrong.
Just let's not.
3 for that.
So Sam looks around. Who's still up? I know Sam and our Kemuel is.
I think Obi's still
Who
up.
had Slipstream up?
Rory's up.
Kimyo's up.
Oh, hold on a second, actually.
I have 7 lethal.
Some of you actually may be dead because of the unsoakable ag from earlier if you had Paradox.
Didn't take any.
shit.
Yeah, that would be correct.
But if you have Slipstream up, the difficulty to hit you was like 9. So did he get any 9s to hit you?
The difficulty to hit. Let's see what I originally rolled. It was 2d10. Give me a moment. Where's that?
That's why you put a hashtag.
I'm looking. 2d10.
2d10, 6F1. You got a 6 and a 3.
Yeah, it looks like I rolled a 9 and a 1. So that was actually a 1 success at diff 9. It would have been the same.
So hang on. So has somebody else died?
1 success.
Don't-
Well, I mean, if someone took unsoakable ag earlier, then they took
I-
like
What if that?
and then took 7 lethal now.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I'm asking. Did anyone take a whole bunch of ag earlier and now took lethal? Because I don't know.
Who had paradox when that happened?
I did. Rory did, but he didn't.
Yeah,
take
but
it.
Rory
you
dodged.
dodged the bullet, so you were okay. Kamul dodged the bullet, so he was okay. Iki dodged the bullet, so she was okay.
No paradox.
No, I think we're all good. I think everyone here had the same. Everyone here who got shot at could dodge the bullets, so they were all fine. I believe we're okay.
Oh, so we're all still at okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Wow.
Those of you on the ground are still on the ground there.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, my apologies. Austin is still also on the ground, or Austin
Yes.
is still also standing up.
Wait, I'm confused now.
Austin,
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
I am on the ground, but I am standing.
Too hard to die or something?
Did you soak any, Austin?
No, it's actually because, and I was meaning to say this, the bullet shot at Austin stop in midair, or the buckshot shot at Austin stops in midair and falls onto the ground, sounding like the pitter patter of rain.
Yay!
Well,
The
that's
eye will
fun.
proceed to spark.
How much does it lose?
It doesn't.
Groovy.
You kind of get the distinct impression that Magister Metz is legitimately impressed by that level of stupidity. He's kind of just like, Welp. He's just like, well, very well then. He'll kind of grip his staff close, and then he'll point at the clock, and he will say, "Begin final cogitation." At which point you will start hearing a bell start to toll.
No, you don't get to do that.
Okay, let's do that thing, boys and girls, where initiative exists.
Yeah, no, since it's now obvious that he has effects up, Sam's presenting the, she's pulling out the fucking premium core fucking baton now.
Oh, by the way, hi, Kim. Since you have Prime set up, don't you?
Yep.
You know what would have been handy? If you'd let Kim ask me if he had an effect up before you shot at him.
I knew he had the effect up anyway because we went against pretty much copied fucking version of him earlier.
You're not wrong.
Fucking.
That version, did that version have kinetic barriers? Oh, we never encountered them because they all got wiped away by Wrinkle.
Hi, Kim. He has about 6 or 7 hanging effects on him. 3 of which are time, 2 of which are entropy, 2 of which are life, and 1 of which is correspondence.
And I don't well. Gotta roll initiative before I can ask this. We'll see what happens on my turn.
I'm tracking initiative in a notepad right now.
Actually, create something on the fly.
I will point out, unlike the other speed junkie, he does not have an incredibly fast initiative.
Iki, Rory, dex checks.
Oh, shit, okay. That was bad.
I actually might be higher than 15. Whatever. So you know what? I don't want to look up the rules. My dex is 5. Natural.
Iki.
5 in both wits and dex.
She goes first.
His brother got an 11, him thug life self. He rolled a fucking 1.
Oh.
Hold up, what do you mean, brother?
Oh, yeah. About that.
Yeah.
So far on the initiative track, I have Liam, Iki, Rory, Sam, Boss 1, and Kem.
Where's Cam?
Can you
7.
roll?
Mule is at a 7.
Okay.
Poor Obi just like, I'm not going to roll initiative tonight. Mm-mm.
Alrighty. Rick, is it? Rick, Sam, Dex checks.
Rick's at 14 with.
Keep in mind your down stuff. I think. Marcus, what's the rule when you're hurt? Does your does it affect your initiative?
Yes. I think it does. Marcus doesn't. Yeah, it does affect your initiative, doesn't it?
It would make sense. It would. Just as like a
It's a minus.
maybe
It's a minus. It's a minus to dice pools. It ain't a minus to initiative. It's not your ability didn't get any lower.
That's fair.
Dice pools are not initiative.
That is
So-
fair.
Yeah.
So
Rick and
sorry. So Sam, what is Tim? What is Sam's dexterity? I think it's a 3.
4.
Okay, 4. What is
Rick?
Rick's dexterity?
3, so he goes first.
Okay, Sam goes first.
All right. Anybody else in the initiative track?
Nope.
My goons.
Oh yes, there is the wraith who is currently occupying the corpse.
All right. So
And my dragon, because this bitch is gonna get in on it too.
He's really not.
Why the fuck not?
Because he's afraid.
I don't give a shit.
He gives a shit.
all right. So I need a dice roll
the
for
goon
goon.
the goon is going to go at initiative 12.
This is Iki Goon goes on
Ooh.
12.
And the dragon is going at initiative 18.
There is a dragon.
There is a dragon.
All right. That everybody?
I believe so.
All right. Initiative posted.
I like how dragon is all capitalized.
Dragon. Dragon. 2 syllables.
That's fair. Kim, okay. What do you want Shen to do?
Like, you could like eat some magic or some shit like that. That'd be cool.
He can attack the clock if you'd like.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work too, as long as he's careful about it. I don't want him to like.
Dacraeus! Sorry. Continue. All right. Basically, Shen is the white dragon, isn't he?
Yes.
A white dragon, a white Chinese lung style dragon launches itself out of Kim's bag at quite impressive speeds. He proceeds to grow until he's roughly between 18 and 20 foot long as he wraps himself around the clock and starts to breathe on it with incredibly violent blue flames as the clock starts to tick discordantly. You'll see Magister Metz's staff start to glow white hot as he starts to scream, but he keeps his hand holding it.
That willpower.
Let it go, bitch.
Next, we have Liam.
So, well, that is tempting. No, he is going to spend this round chanting, and that will be using an ability as a focus and eating my round.
Okay.
I am speaking, for those who speak Enochian, I am speaking the words of undoing.
Oh
So-
shit!
Okay.
Nice.
Next, we have Iki.
Okay. So, when he says the words of undoing, is he about to unravel this bitch's spells? Or is it just kind of like, I'm gonna just unravel him from existence kind of shit going on?
Depending on how things go, both.
Okay. Okay, so OOC, you're taking care of the I'm gonna throw this shit back at you thing, right?
That's on the list.
Oh, so you're not doing that first?
It's on the list. It depends on my successes.
Okay then. I'm just gonna try to counterspell the thing then, so he can do the unraveling and just get rid of this dude. If it works.
Okay.
I only need like prime 3 for that, right? Just make sure.
You need prime 3 in the relevant sphere you're trying to unravel.
I'm trying to unravel the thing that's making all the spells and shit shoot back at us.
That's a correspondence effect.
Lol, never mind.
So I got 8 successes on my Intelligence Esoterica roll.
Okay. And to answer your question, Tim, it is a standard baton that has 2 dots of counter magic. Sorry, Evan just remembers that when you got it.
Okay.
What
Does
does
it-
he have? My bad.
Sorry.
What was that?
It
Tim?
is your turn.
No,
Go
go,
ahead.
go on.
No, I let you just had to tell him something he now knows, but he needs to know. So what were you asking me?
What effects does he have on that I can counterspell?
What spheres does Ikuro have?
Life, matter, mind, prime, spirit.
You could attempt to unweave his life effect.
That works. So I'll just start building that up because I'm pretty sure that'll just get thrown back at me if I try to do that now before his other effect goes down.
Okay, cool. Next we have Rory.
Okay. So just so I understand this, he's holding a very hot staff and has a dragon coiled around him.
No, the dragon coiled around the clock and is breathing fire into the workings of the clock. But as that happened, his staff starts to superheat. It's clear the two are connected in some way.
Okay, this may be incredibly stupid then, but my character is not smart. Actually, this is incredibly bad idea.
You got to do what Marcus did in the last game and try and dive tackle the staff out of his hands.
Worse.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what could be worse than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that just gets you
I'm
killed.
using forces 2 to heat the staff more so he drops it.
You're trying to rearrange the heat, or are you trying to add more? Because Forces 2 is moving shit around.
No, forces 2, I can flare flames. And I can expand something that's already in existence.
That is true.
Yeah.
If it's there, he can firebend it.
Yeah.
Then everything changed when the fire Rory attacked.
Yeah. Well, I'm not actually attacking him, is the thing. I just want him to drop the staff. Is this necessary right now?
Hi, Catwife.
Hi.
Give me,
Oh.
we are recording, so give me a few minutes. Okay, and then I'll mute it. Yeah, page. Right. Well, you've already agreed with me, so I don't really need to. Okay, so I'm just going to roll an effect for that. I just want him to drop the staff. Like, I want to make it extremely painful to hold.
Okay.
If he continues to hold it, he will take damage.
Okay.
But I'm not like trying to damage him specifically.
Roll them bones.
All right. Everything is vulgar with witnesses, right?
Mhm.
And okay, we'll just check how much quintessence I have left. Fuck it. You know what? Willpower and 3 quint. Four successes, 10, 8, 9, and a willpower.
Okay. The staff will become near liquid hot. As in, congratulations, you turn the staff to liquid.
Yay!
And it proceeds to rain over his hands. In which case, the clock stops ticking.
I was not stupid! Huzzah!
I'd wait before that.
And the bell starts to toll discordantly.
I was incredibly stupid!
There we go.
Everyone who can hear the clock chiming discordantly take a level of bashing damage. Unsoaked.
I'm already unconscious.
I'm aware of this.
So
You will have
so those of us who are unconscious can still hear it and therefore take the damage, right?
No.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. In that case,
It's the sound that's causing it.
yep. Well, since I've already maxed out all of my boxes, I'm afraid that is it. Or
No, you would have to have it wrap around to 7 again in order to die.
oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah,
yay.
you'd have to take another level of bashing to die.
Okay, good.
No, another 6, basically.
Yes.
Yep, good.
He falls to his knees and he falls to his knees and he says, "You have robbed the world of Eden." The clock is starting to come apart, boys and girls.
It's not yours to give or take away.
The bell will toll again, another unsoakable bashing.
I actually have more actions.
Okay.
Because I have 3 extra actions. I'm going to go around to where he is, behind him, and put him in a Nelson, full Nelson.
Okay. Roll your attack dice.
This is, I know it's incredibly stupid.
Right?
Hmm? Oh, all of his effects are still active. By the way, this should technically be at the end of the initiative. So I just want to clarify. Everyone else, the clock is physically coming apart. The bells are starting to toll as if then they're starting to get on a screeching peal. Is everyone else opting to GTFO? Because bear in mind, this thing is powered by a miniature sun and it's coming apart.
How many people are on the ground and how many people are on the ground and unable to move?
Oh, in that case, okay. You know what? Who's on the ground?
Finley and one of your hermetic buddies. Mark's character.
Kimio is going to have Jackie, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, Sam was gonna get him, but if Kim's got it, then Kim's got it.
He may be a little sexist. He didn't think you could get it, but
You know what? Actually,
That's fair.
okay. Well, no, I'm continuing with my action. I'll just say, Liam, get everyone out of here.
Not attended that's on the ground, Rick will pick him up.
Okay, cool. In that case, you have Mr. Weiss. Austin will get Richard, and Kemal has Jackie as people start dashing towards the exits. The dragon, by the way, hey Kim, the dragon picks you up delicately in its mouth and flies you and starts flying you out the door. It actually breaks through the door with its head.
So, I have
What
a
about
question
my
for
goon?
Richard.
The goon is the goon is a wraith. The body will be incinerated. The wraith
goon
will be
has my
okay.
soul steel dagger.
Oh. That's gone now.
What? No!
So my very important question to Richard is how prone to motion sickness is he?
I didn't specify any of that, so probably not.
So
He's unconscious.
I'm gonna tell you to hold on. I'm gonna pull out a skateboard, and then we're gonna fall to the wall, and then we're gonna fall to the floor, and before we stop falling to the floor, we're gonna fall to another wall.
You do know that I'm unconscious, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I
So
can't do anything.
you all see. I pick up Richard. I hold a skateboard, and then it is just I fall. I don't fly backwards. I fall backwards, and then I fall down, and then I fall left, and then I fall up.
Okay. Where are you going?
The fastest way out of here is not necessarily the stairs. So I'm falling back towards the glass wall, and then I'm falling to the floor. But before I hit the floor, I'm hitting a wall. And then I'm going to use the portal of the skateboard to blink onto the ground.
Okay.
And change velocity. And I'm just going to skate on out of here with an unconscious body.
No, she means Iki's corpse is in. I think Iki only cares about the Soul Steel dagger.
Didn't know that.
Memory I had to give up to get that?
That's fair. If you want, you can grab it as the dragon is. The dragon, by the way, as I said, he has you in his mouth. Well, he has you kind of in his mouth in the sense that he grabs you and closes his mouth, so you're being elevated by your clothes. He smashes through the glass front of the building with its head, but keeps you sheltered.
That's fine. My dagger can stay behind with the goon. I'm gonna just have to take another trip to the Shadowlands. I got what's her face as a contact. It'll be fine.
There's now a gigantic hole in the glass door in the glass panels outside. If anyone wants to go through.
Sorry, hold on. Are we on still in round 1 or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, people tripped his weakness much quicker than I was expecting.
Sorry, I thought we broke initiative. I apologize.
We did. Yeah. We broke out of initiative a while ago.
Because I've got him in a chokehold, and I've got extra actions, so I was gonna.
Well, no, you still have to roll to put him in a chokehold.
I did. I got three.
Okay, that damage will be reverbed back onto you as aggravated damage. Please soak three aggravated damage.
No, that's it's not a damaging attack.
But my point is that your kinetic force that you're using to put him into a headlock is sent back at you, and then Prime is used to make it aggravated.
Ow.
So, hold on.
That's a fuck off if I ever heard.
I don't understand.
You attempting to grab him, all that kinetic energy got transmuted into hostile ag damage to you.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that it's not meant to damage, it's the fact that you're applying any kind of force to him, period.
Yep, that's a very nice little forces. I call that, it's a forces 3 prime 2 rote that basically commutes the force back onto you, and then you use the prime element to make force aggravated.
All right, fine.
But he's kneeling there. He's a very beaten and broken person.
Oh, well then, I have something else for him.
Oh, God.
I got something for his ass.
Huh?
Yeah, fine. He wants to make this hurt. We're going to make this hurt.
Oh,
first, I got to roll my soak, though. Does my shield help, by the way? Because I have something to absorb force. So he sent it back at me, and I have...
Yeah, that would do it.
Well, 10 dice, and I soaked 1. So
well done.
Soaked 2.
Ow. How much ag have you taken, all in all?
Did you take 4. Any paradox earlier? I think you did.
Yeah, I'm at 4 ag right now.
Ouch.
Wait, hang on. I thought you said you had 3 or 4 paradox.
I had I actually miscalculated. I had 2 coming into this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. In that
Okay.
case, you've taken 4 aggravated damage. In that case,
Or sorry, one coming into I should have had one coming into this, and then I took another one here. Then it discharged, causing me 2 unsoakable ag.
yes,
And
and
now
you
I
just
just
took.
take another 2.
Yeah, so you're on 4 total.
Yeah.
Cool. Continue.
All right. I'll let other people do their. Has everyone else gone?
Yes, as his staff was destroyed, the wards surrounding this place fail. You see the masks fall to the ground and turn to dust. Everything appears to be tied up into that staff and its existence as it falls, as it was destroyed, and as the clock itself counts down to its own destruction. Everything appears to be, in one way or another, being banished. You will see out Gravedigger standing at the front of his dead legion of dead things, surrounded by a number of masks turning to dust. There's blood actually coming from under his clothing, intimating that he himself was hurt. You will see the Archbishop standing atop his building, and his mantra has changed. You now see a glittering golden light surrounding you as the Horizon Realm itself starts to shrink around you. Clearly, the stress of keeping this up is taking its toll even on that mighty being.
Okay. So I'm still going to whisper in his ear. It's not too late. Control the ending. And if you do, I give you my word that I will do whatever I can to redeem Master Beck's name.
He will stand, cradling his other burnt hand, his second burnt hand, ironically.
I had 5 successes. On the expression willpower.
That's fine. My point is he's not doing anything hostile. He's just standing up.
Yeah.
He will look at the clock as it counts down, and he will see the fact that the core has become unstable. He will then turn, and he will look at you, and he will say, "The Order is doomed to fail, my boy. One way or the other. They think that they are better than humanity, and yet they do not understand humanity because they stand so far aloof from them. If you want to redeem..."
Sure. I agree with you. But I don't think it's beyond saving.
He will smile, and there is a genuine warmth in the smile. He will say, "Tell my apprentice, tell her that I'm sorry." And what he does is he pushes you with his ruined hand. He'll actually leave a smear of blood on your chest, as it were. Does Rory have correspondence?
Yes.
Okay, you can attempt to counterspell what he's doing in that case.
What's he trying to do?
He's pushing you through a portal.
No, I won't do it. Say, no, I'm not going to try to counterspell. I'm just going to say, it's not too late for you either.
He will look back and he will say, as you fall through the portal, the last thing you'll hear him say is, "People will look back at me and say, I gave birth." People look back at me and say, "I gave birth to the night when time stood still." And the portal will snap closed behind you. Okay, boys and girls. For all the rest of you, Rory, you will land deposited outside on the top of the building with the Archbishop. It's not a very nice landing, as in you'll fall about 5 feet onto your ass. But you will land. All of you will see the Rothholm Institute entirely annihilated from the inside out by an explosion of light that were it not for the shield the Archbishop has attempted to erect around it, would blind each and every one of you. Hell, that amount of photons would probably exterminate you from existence simply by the sheer energy of the fact they exist, even if they could never touch you. The shield buckles, and you see blood pour from the Archbishop's nose and his eyes and his ears as he attempts to manifest enough power to stop this solar catastrophe, this holocaust of man made manifest. And then,
Can I help him?
You can certainly heal him if you want to.
I was going to say, I'm going to heal him, and I'll even take a level or 2 of damage onto myself.
Okay. That's fine. But then, in the flash of an eye and the blink of a moment, there is darkness as the Ratholm Institute is annihilated from the world. And then the sky returns entirely to normal. Everything is as it was. Everything is as it is. You stand on a street in Dublin, looking up at the night sky. The Ratholm Institute still stands there. Is it real, or is it a copy? You're not exactly sure. And then, for the first time in Darkness in Dublin, in this entire game, you will see the sun break through the clouds as the light of dawn comes and the rain stops.
Ooh. Ah.
That's sad.
And with that, boys and girls, I'm going to click the end button because I've been running for like 3 hours. Okay, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin where the time plot has finally ended. Yay. Have a good one, y'all.